Barcelona too. You know, you think about that Barcelona team of Messi, Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, Puyol, just absolutely sensational. And you look at Real Madrid now, Vinny Jr., Mbappe, Bellingham. Who else have I missed? I think the general ones, they've always had the very, very top ones have probably gone to La Liga and Real.
What football ground are you thinking of when someone says this?
Really tough place to go.
Difficult place to go.
Such a tough place to go.
It's a tough place to go at the moment.
It was a really difficult place to go, always.
But what are the toughest places to go, really? We've scoured the planet to find out. Forget a cold, wet Tuesday night in Stoke. Try playing in a blizzard 220 miles inside the Arctic Circle at the world's northernmost professional club. When Chelsea lost at Tromsø in Norway in the 97-98 Cup Winners' Cup, a massive snowstorm hit at half-time. These two boys and their brooms were absolutely no match for it. We're staying in Scandinavia for Scotland's toughest away day on a windswept cliff in the Faroe Islands. In Euro 2000 qualifying, Craig Brown's men were taken to fishing village Toftir. Kevin Gallagher called the pitch a cowfield and the wind like Pitodry on a bad day. The Faroe Islands part-timers equalised in stoppage time, leading to these absolute scenes, and still one of Scotland's most embarrassing results.
Daft little ground, silly game.
But away trips don't come any tougher than a lung-busting schlep up the Andes to face Bolivia in La Paz. But now the Bolivians have taken home advantage to another level. The country's highest city, El Alto, 4,100 metres above sea level. Grass doesn't even grow up here. Bolivia have not lost here yet. The longest unbeaten run in any professional league ever belongs to Red Star Belgrade, or Crvena Zvezda if you must. They've gone 7 years without defeat at the Rajko Mitic in Serbia's Superliga. Their fans are pretty intimidating as well, but they're not as loud as this mob. Galatasaray's Ali Sami Yen Stadium's officially the loudest in world football. In a derby with Fenerbahce, Galatasaray fans set a Guinness World Record of 131 decibels. That's louder than Motorhead, and pretty tough to carry out your manager's instructions when you can't even hear them. However, our most intimidating away day is in Wales, where cameras can't enter and players can't leave. HMP Prescoed. This prison team was briefly kicked out the Gwent League over concerns about young opposition having to go in there. Now that's a tough place to go.
Early June 1939, Germany, always a tough place to go to.
Okay, very good morning to you all. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Browse the UK's best used car deals and score your dream car today. Check out their website for more details. Ally and Gabby are with you this morning. Gab, how are you, pal?
I'm very well, Mr. McCoist. How are you, pal?
Top form, mate. Absolutely top form. How's your weekend, mate?
Yeah, it was okay, mate. Went to watch my daughter play Saturday.
Hey, how'd you go?
They had a good result. Won 4-1, I think it was. They're doing very well.
Excellent.
Then a bit of paddle, mate.
Did you have a game of paddle?
Yeah, but before all that, mate, I watched an amazing game between England and Uruguay. Honestly, Ali, mate. Honestly, it was fantastic, mate. What about you, Ali?
Hey, I missed that classic, to be fair. I can't lie to you, Gab. I did see one or two highlights of the classic that you mentioned, and I used the term highlights very, you know.
I felt sorry, Ali, for whoever paid to go to Wembley and watch.
Mate,
there was zero atmosphere. It was silent. Wow.
Mate, it was exact same at Hampden.
Was it?
Aye, for the Japan game. Exact same, mate. I mean, there wasn't a lot happening. And then the whole thing kind of petered out. Japan scored late on in the game. I mean, I think it was the exact same. But when I watched that England game, Gab, there were one or two things. I mean, the penalty at the end was a shambles, wasn't it? It looked as though the boys still got a red card as well for one of the tackles.
Yes. On Phil Foden.
Yeah, it was a shocking tackle, eh?
Yeah, but I think that the players have got to do better, Ali. I mean, at times, Uruguay were very good keeping the ball. Valverde, wow, he's getting better by the game, by the way.
Some player, him, by the
he's
way.
unbelievable.
Said it for a while.
Some of those players, Ali, who played, didn't do themselves any favours for the World Cup.
That was the thing, wasn't it? You're looking at the game beforehand, you're thinking, well, at least you're going to get one or two people putting themselves about because there's an opportunity for them to stake a claim, you know what I mean? But I'm with you, mate. It was,
yes.
I mean, I can't lie, I only saw the highlights. But when I say highlights again, I use the term very loosely because it didn't look much of a game, mate.
Agreed.
Well, listen, mate, no major surprises over the weekend. As you know, no Premier League football. However, a bit of drama coming out the top flight as Spurs parted ways with interim manager Igor Tudor.
Igor Tudor is no longer the manager of Tottenham Hotspur. Igor Tudor is out of the door.
And Spurs have got a big problem now. 1 place, 1 point above the relegation places.
It's not going to be all about tactics anymore. There are 7 games to play, 21 points to be won. Now it's all about a manager coming in and getting the players to believe in themselves.
From what I'm told, nobody at this stage is lined up to come in and replace Igor Tudor.
I find that absolutely astonishing that they don't have anybody in place.
I don't think there is an answer. I think, seriously, we are going to struggle to get those 6 points that we need. It is dire. The board have stitched us up.
What do you think, Gab? I mean, I'm that one of the, I'm not sure who it was that was speaking there. I'd be absolutely staggered if we've not got him lined up, surely.
I don't think they have, Ali. I feel that what happened with Igor Tudor after the last game, 3-0, he would have been sacked earlier if it wasn't for the sad passing of his father.
Yeah.
I think they would have sacked him earlier. They'd have waited a bit to be respectful.
Yeah.
And they're probably crying out for De Zerbi. But De Zerbi, why would you take it, Ali? Why would you have a relegation from the Premier League on your CV when there's only 7 games left, is there? Yep.
It's amazing. I mean, I think it was Grossi that said that there.
Why would you?
I know. They must have... I think you make a valid point. I mean, it's all very well saying, go and get him, you know, he'll do this and he'll do that. But surely they've said to guys like...
Yes, I think they have.
You know, maybe Harry or something like that. Look, if there's a possibility, would you? Or
Chris Hughton.
Aye,
Ryan
Chris Hughton. There must be people.
I think they've got them ready, Ali, and they don't want to rush into that yet. I mean, when the next Premier League game? You've got them over 2 weeks, haven't you?
Yeah.
Or just under 2 weeks, sorry, you got. So they're probably thinking to themselves, let's relax, let's try our hardest to get De Zerbi. If we have to give him a massive staying up bonus in the millions to get him to take the job, they're probably trying that, Ali, seeing what his final decision is in the next couple of days, and then they've got backup ready. That's what I think they're doing.
I know, I'm just thinking from De Zerbi's point of view, does he come and say, right, I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll come and take it for however many, 10 games, 12 games, whatever it is, and then say, I'll take the job if we stay up. I mean, he's in a position really right now, if they're desperate for him, he can effectively call the shots, can't he?
But why does he need to, Ali? He's highly rated. Yes, it wasn't great the way he left Marseille, but he's done a decent job there. Why would you? 7 games left. He's probably looking at some of these players, Ali, looking at the games they've got left and thinking, ooh, this isn't like... It don't matter who you bring in, Ali. You bring Pep into Spurs and you might not keep them up. He's thinking probably... Why? I'll wait. If they stay up, I'll go there. This is what I want. If they go down, I've got so many other options I can have in the summer. Why am I rushing into it? Unless you absolutely weigh me in. I'm talking 3, 4, 5, 6 million staying up bonus, Ali. Whatever he wants, then maybe he takes it if he wants the money.
I know, exactly. He's even probably at the point where the money really is secondary to him. It's more reputation than anything else.
Exactly.
And you make a good point, mate. You look at that squad of players... And do you see a squad of players that are ready for a fight to stay up? I'm not sure you do.
And what sort of manager is De Zerbi?
Yeah, I know, mate.
Is he hard? Is he hard-hitting more than Igor Tudor? Yes, he is. Has he got a bit of anger about him? Has he got that, like, real aggression about his manager style. Yes, he has. He's probably looking and hearing about some of these players and thinking they're not gonna like my style. So maybe I won't keep them up.
Well, there's a few names have been thrown out. We mentioned Harry, Robert De Zerbi, Sean Dyche, Adi Hooter, Ryan Mason. You remember, I think it was a couple of days ago, a couple of weeks back actually, we spoke to Harry on the breakfast show, and the questions all come up initially regarding Tudor's appointment. A man that Redknapp told us he would take on his coaching team if he were to take the Tottenham job was Jermaine Defoe. Interestingly, Jermaine, who's just been appointed as Woking boss last night. Majestic was on the final word, and this is what he had to say.
I just don't understand it, because he was at Brighton for what, like 18 months, 2 years?
Yeah, I think just under 2 years, wasn't he? Yeah.
And for me personally, sometimes him on the touchline was a bit too much. I remember watching him at Spurs. I think it kicked off between him and Conte in one game, which was good fun to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't understand this. Surely with Spurs, you have to learn from your mistakes. If you don't learn from your mistakes, then, you know, you're not moving forward, are you? Why do we feel that this manager can get Spurs out of this situation?
They're worried. I mean, I spoke to Big Majestic. I met him, Gab, last week when I was down. I had a quick blather with him. I mean, you got to feel for the Tottenham fans. They're actually at the point of worried sick. Understandably, aren't they?
Yeah, of course. And what part of get someone that loves the football club that's going to galvanise the squad, Ali, be their friends. That's what you need with 7 games to go. You don't need a hothead like De Zerbi to come in now and upset players again. And players who didn't respond to Tudor are going to respond to De Zerbi. But the whole thing's embarrassing, Ali. You won the Europa League. You got this amazing stadium. You bring in a top manager like Thomas Frank. Doesn't work. Now, Ali, when Spurs name their next manager, they would have had more managers this season, home wins. How embarrassing is that?
I've got to say, man, I'm looking at the whole situation, and I just think it's an obvious one. You go and get a Chris Hughton or a Harry Redknapp, because those guys will give the fans a boost. They'll give the whole place a boost, and just say to them, lads, well documented. Look at the mess we're in.
Yep.
You know, can you get a wee squad together that'll give the whole place a boost, and we'll take our chances.
This is the problem, Ali. It's like, who's making these decisions? Just take us a breath and just speak to people. You know, these top chief executives and owners. You just need someone to come in there, Ali. I've been there. I remember when Tim Sherwood come to Aston Villa and kept us up. He made it more fun. Yes, training was hard, but he was everyone's friend. He was pally-pally. Even if you have to fake it as a manager and be pally-pally to these players and just do a job, whatever it takes. Because De Zerbi might go in there. It might work at it, but he might go and upset them even more. Yeah. And then you're in a case of like, okay, thanks for that. And do you think De Zerbi's going to sign a contract, Ali, that like his money goes down if Spurs get relegated? No, he's not.
No chance, man.
It's
not happening, pal. It's not happening about it. But it's just the whole thing's an absolute mess. It's a shambles, pal. It really is.
Sunderland away next. Good luck with that.
Oh, I know, mate. I know. Spurs fans, the question's quite simple this morning. Who do you guys think is the best option to keep you up now? Do you still have faith you'll have Premier League status next year? Or, unfortunately, does it look as though it's too late and you're going to go down regardless? Give us a call. You know the drill out there, guys. 03717 22 3344. Coming up next, the papers are linking Glenn Hoddle. There's another one, absolutely, with a vacant Spurs hot seat. More on that next.
Join us now to look ahead to All British Heavyweight boxer Dillian Whyte. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Dillian.
Good morning, good morning. How's everything been? Good?
Yeah,
good, mum.
Yeah, really, really good. You gutted for the Welsh last night for no reason whatsoever? Or is it just Gabby who's hammering them?
I have no comment.
Dillian, what are you thinking about this fight then? You fought both fighters, Ituma and Franklin. What are you expecting from Franklin in this fight?
I think it's a good fight. It depends on what Franklin turns up because, you know, he can turn up and put on a good show and be a really good fighter. Sometimes he can turn up and be a little bit of a stinker, you know. Obviously, he's coming off a loss in his last fight. But I think that's made him hungrier for this fight. And now, obviously, we look at Mosley thinking, if I beat Mosley, I get one up on Dillian because Dillian beat me and Mosley beat Dillian. So I think he's got double motivation. So, yeah.
How good is he, Itoma? You know, only 21 years of age, and we've seen his rise so far. How good is he and how good can he be?
He's very good. Obviously, they're managing properly and maneuvering properly, and obviously he's timing is everything in every division. We have to wait and see. He's very good. He's young. He's active. Obviously, he's explosive and stuff. But we have to wait and see. Every boxing is funny, you know. I mean, taking one fight 2 months earlier, 2 months too late can make a big difference. You know, I mean, maybe.
Good song, Gab. Good song.
Unbelievable song.
talkSPORT Breakfast. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. You know who that is. My heart will go on. Why are we playing it this morning, Gab? I'm going to tell you why. Because as the singer Celine Dion, 58th birthday today.
Amazing.
Now, she represented somebody at the Eurovision, and I want to say she's Canadian.
Yes.
I want to say she represented Switzerland or something like that.
Is she?
Ed's gone quiet on me, so that's not good news.
She wasn't well, was she?
No, I don't.
Right?
Do you know some tragically? I don't think she keeps great health.
Yes, I don't think she is she?
I don't think she keeps great health at all. But I tell you what, she is absolutely
legend.
Some voice, mate.
Yes.
She's got some voice. Of that, there's no doubt. Then she another one about the first 15 minutes, and I meant to bring it in. I had it at the top of my list to talk to you. Did you watch the fight?
I did indeed. Yes. Wow.
He's impressive. I mean, Big Al's been right about him all along.
Yeah,
hasn't he?
Big Al knows Moses. You know, he's great. Absolutely
I
great.
like this kid. I'll
tell you something, Ali. You don't want to fight. You don't want to fight him.
Cool.
I don't care who you are. You do not want to fight this kid.
I mean, they keep saying he's not been tested. You know, nobody's taking him any sort of distance. That's no his. There's a reason for that.
Yeah. But what I like, Ali, is that he's young. He looks like he's a professional. You know, he goes about his business. He doesn't waste any time. If he's there to knock you out, he's going to knock you out. I'm just thinking, if you're the older boxers in the heavyweight, you're avoiding him at all cost. I see a winner of Wardley and Dubois. I'd love him to fight next, Ali.
Yeah.
See how he does against them. Big punches as well.
He's next to be a world title fight. It will be of some description, you think, or...
Listen, I don't think it will yet,
No.
but I'm trying to think who they can put him in with next. Who?
Well, they got Tommy. Is it Hergovich, Lance Coley?
Yeah, Hergovich is fighting Dave Allen.
Is he ready
next,
for
isn't he?
Usyk? Would Usyk take him on, do you think? Am I getting carried away?
No, I think so, yeah. But I if I'm Frank Warren, I don't care who I put him with now, Ali.
I know.
I just think, yeah, just put him in.
Okay, time. Take a look at today's back pages, pal.
Back page review on talkSPORT.
And it's Angeline. Angela, you're running late there. A very good morning to you.
Yeah, she was late.
Morning. I was not late. We were discussing Celine Dion, actually.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Was that right? Who was she in Eurovision for?
It was Switzerland. I thought it was
done,
France,
Ali.
but you were right. Excellent knowledge.
1-0.
Yeah.
Legendary voice.
What a voice.
Yeah.
I think I did say to Guy, but I don't think the poor lady keeps too well.
No.
And she's got health issues and things like that. I remember reading an article.
Yes, I did, yeah.
Anyway, Angela, how was your weekend?
It was lovely, thank you. Few Aston Villa fans had to fight off in the comments of the talkSPORT social media pages, but apart from that,
Get used to it. I get that daily.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah, but it was my own fault. I rocked up and started trouble, didn't I?
Okay, it happens. It happens. We forgive you.
But yeah, no, it was lovely. It was reporting on WSL game at the weekend, Arsenal game, North London derby. Alessia Russo with the first half
What did that
hat-trick.
finish? I saw City gave United. I know you wouldn't be too happy to talk about that one.
Yeah.
What did the Arsenal-Chelsea one finish?
The Man United one was a 3-0 loss in the derby.
Oh,
yeah.
what a shame.
It was 4-2? No, 5-2. I think it ended. I can't even keep up. Alessia Russo got a first half hat-trick, though.
Did she sit? I think they reached City at 11 points clear.
Pardon?
I think City are 11 points clear, are they not?
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea are second. Arsenal have got 2 games in hand. So, but I mean...
The Man United boss under pressure?
Yeah, I think so, massively. Another Man United boss under pressure. And to be fair, the Aston Villa manager was the women's manager was great. 4-3 against Chelsea. They took them straight to the wire. So maybe Man United women might want the Aston Villa women's manager. Maybe.
Sure she's good enough?
Who knows? Yeah, I think she's all right. I've spoken to her once or twice. She's lovely. Anyway, back pages. It's all about Spurs, obviously. Glenn Hoddle at the back of the Mail. Now Spurs eye Hoddle, club legend in frame for rescue mission after Igor Tudor is sacked. So this is their 4th coach in 295 days. Hoddle, 68 years of age, not managed for nearly 20 years. There are a couple of options that are being mentioned. Obviously, Sean Dyche, he seems to have distanced himself from it. There's been a lot of talk about Roberto De Zerbi. talkSPORT understand that Spurs are willing to offer the former Brighton manager a big relegation survival bonus to persuade him to take over. I know that some Spurs fan groups have released statements saying that they wouldn't want him to be appointed after the comments he made about Mason Greenwood, saying that he was a good guy who paid a heavy price. He left Man United in 2023. Charges against him, including attempted rape and assault, were dropped. I think a few people just feel like, who your manager is and what they say, should represent you. What do you want your message to be as a football club? It's more about what goes on the pitch. You are representing a community and values. So there are a lot of conversations about Roberto De Zerbi, but going back to Glenn Hoddle, Ali, I know that you know him.
Yeah.
Would he want that in his life? It seems like he's pretty happy
question.
with you, doing punditry for TNT.
Yeah. Plus the fact, been well documented that Glenn had 1 or 2 health issues as well. Thankfully he's fit and well, and he's brilliant. Well, he's just brilliant what he does, and he's great to be around. But only he could answer that, Angelina. We're automatically and obviously saying he's the kind of figure that would come into the equation, and I think it's right to say that. But there's I would definitely say there's a lot more to it with Glenn taking it rather than somebody like Harry or Chris Hughton, because there are obviously other issues with Glenn, and only Glenn would know, Angelina.
It's hard, isn't it, Ali? Because it all depends as well. What have you got going on in your life? What's your work like in your life with other jobs? For instance, Ali, if Rangers come to you tomorrow, you're doing that well and that busy with your jobs at the moment, you wouldn't be able to take it, would you?
You've not got time for that.
You're contracted as well, you wouldn't be able to go.
He's got a decision to make. But do you know something? It's one of these ones, and just to back up what you were saying there, I mean, it does become... It's a tug in your heartstrings. Do you know what I mean? It's, if it's me with Rangers, and
look at Martin, Ali. Look at Martin O'Neill. He was like, "See you later, bye bye." Straight to Glasgow.
You're right, Martin Celtic. And Glenn and Harry I think would be the exact same with Tottenham. I really do, Angelina. But I don't think it's as straightforward. Obviously, there are 1 or 2 issues as well.
And also, if you're out of top level coaching for like 20 years, how I don't know how easy it is to dip back into that.
But what they would do though is Glenn
have people
Hoddle's the
around him.
manager, but like you've got younger coaches that are doing all the coaching, and he's there to give them that.
He's there for vibes.
Yeah,
basically.
like that Spurs connection, like Harry would be. Harry's not going to be doing a lot of the coaching. You'd have other young coaches around him.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
See, I wouldn't have that down as a problem at all. It's not as if he's not been watching football. It's not as if he doesn't know the players at Tottenham.
Exactly.
You know, and you know Glenn's clearly moved on, and he's a very clever man. He's a brilliant coach, so I don't think that'd be a problem at all. And as Gab says, you take where Harry takes Jermaine Defoe, you take younger people as well that can you take a good team with you, so it wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, and also Cole Palmer reportedly wants out at Chelsea.
Ooh.
Lot of clubs being linked. The main ones seem to be Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, and Manchester United. It seems like he's a Manchester boy. If United were to sign him, I think he'd be competing directly with Bruno Fernandes. And you look at Bruno, 31, his best season of his life at the moment, in fantastic form. As amazing as Cole Palmer is, I think he has got these injury issues that we can't ignore. I think
the price as well, Angelina.
This is it, isn't it? I mean, Real Madrid. I mean, who else is in that? You competing with someone like Jude Bellingham?
I don't think they'd want him, Real Madrid.
No,
I don't think they do. The players that they've got, Gulla, Diaz, they've got enough players in those positions.
I think Bayern, maybe Vincent Kompany, there's that connection. I'm sure they didn't play together at Manchester City, but I'm sure he would have come across Kompany. Maybe Bayern Munich. I mean, Jamal Musiala in that position, similar age.
Alicia as well. Alicia's there, isn't he?
Ali, how about just stay at Chelsea, get your head down and get your form back? How about that?
I know.
When you're not performing and not playing to your levels, then you want to leave. That isn't an option for me.
I know. See, getting back to that England game at the weekend, guys.
Yeah.
From what I saw, he certainly looked a little bit livelier than Phil Foden. I don't think Phil Foden's going to be on that plane unless something dramatic happens. Am I wrong? I mean, I watched it and I watched Palmer.
You're spot on.
I thought Palmer looked slightly livelier.
Players that didn't come on look more lively than Phil Foden.
I know, mate.
Honestly,
But
I felt for him
for a long time. I think since that 2023-24 season, we've not seen the Phil Foden that we're used to. He was quiet at the Euros.
Yes.
The last two seasons. Last season he went missing. This season he's had a couple of spells, but
I'm worried for him.
Yeah, there's something going on.
I've seen players, Ali, top players that just lose it. And like, I'm not saying Phil Foden's lost it, but like his performances for Man City this season, Pep's like a dad to him, and he's not playing him. There's a reason why. And now you see him on the weekend against Uruguay, and you're like, he looked lost.
I know.
Really, really lost. And I'm with you, Ali. He's not done anything in that game on the weekend that's going to help his cause to go to a World Cup.
And that position, that central positions, I mean, dear me, Palmer, Rodgers, Bellingham, is that many players, top players fighting for it? Yeah.
If you're Gibbs White as well, you're thinking hello.
Yeah, there's another one, mate.
Any chance?
Tough.
Yeah.
All right, Angelina, thank you very, very much. Coming up, is Formula One really in danger of losing Max Verstappen? I saw he kind of threw the toys at the pram at the weekend.
Baby.
Former Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp has broken his silence on Mo Salah's impending departure from the Reds. Here he is talking to the Anfield Wrap about the legacy that Salah will leave behind.
Unbelievable goal. So he was part of the best front three in world football for a long time and was the one who always had the highest numbers. So that says something. That really says something. It's not easy to be slightly above the other two guys, and they have all their specific skills. But Mo was the one for for the last situation. He wanted to have that more than anybody. So Sadio was a mix of both. Like, yes, he wanted to score goals, but he could have played midfield even. So that's his skill set. Bobby was the genius who didn't care about anything and could play absolutely everything. And Mo was the one who was really always the goal in his mind. And you cannot train that, and I don't think you really can learn it. It's inside, and he has that, and he will have that until the last day of his life. I'm pretty sure that's why it was the challenge, because if you wanted to...
Over the last few years, Formula One has gone from elitist and insular to a global entertainment brand. The transformation's down to American investment group Liberty Media, who cultivated a new image for the sport since buying it in 2016. Better access to drivers, improved content on social media, and tapping into the US market have given F1 a massive boost in both attention and revenues. But is everyone happy? The fans certainly are, as evidenced by Drive to Survive. Almost 7 million people per season have tuned in to get all the gossip and all the drama from the paddock. The extra exposure means the drivers can demand a higher salary too. In 2010, the top drivers were earning $20 million a year, which isn't bad. But now, the very best earn 3 times that, with Max Verstappen getting a whopping $65 million in 2025. But money doesn't always buy happiness. Some drivers, including Verstappen, don't like the pageantry the changes have brought about. In Las Vegas in 2023, Verstappen said the drivers were made to look like clowns, and the event was 99% performance and 1% race. Some purists who still watch the sport feel the same, and that the spirit of competition has suffered. But Formula One and Liberty Media don't look like slowing down anytime soon. So expect more races, major events and exclusive access in future.
Okay, what have we got? I'll tell you what we've got. Monday the 30th of March, it's just gone 6:30. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. There's over 20,000 used cars online to choose from, so they will, without doubt, have the car for you. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. It's time now to take a look at the latest EFL action in partnership with McDonald's.
EFLers on talkSPORT with McDonald's. Got big McDonald's hunger? Order delivery on the McDonald's app today. From 11 a.m, 18 plus. Fees apply to delivery orders. Subject to availability. Price may vary.
Absolutely brilliant story at the weekend. The cast remains back to Friday for a stony 44 years in the making. At 78 years young, Roy Hodgson is officially back in the dugout. He's made a sensational return to Bristol City. I love this. The very same club that sacked him all the way back in 1982. This marks the 22nd stop in a legendary career that has seen Hodgson manage in 8 different countries across 5 decades. Brilliant, Gabby, isn't it? I told you. I met him.
Yep.
He was having a walk up the King's Road. I was out with the wee we're having a wee walk, and he just came towards me. I said, I know that face. And Roy was out with his missus for a bit of lunch, and he was telling me he'd just been to the Italian up the road. And I stood and had a blather one for about 10 minutes. He was brilliant, mate. It's some story, isn't it?
Yeah, but some managers, Ali, it doesn't matter their age. They
Correct.
love it. Martin O'Neill, working on talkSPORT, doing all the media. Celtic, yep, on my way, no problem. And we talk about Glenn Hoddle, maybe he feels the same. Harry Redknapp, we spoke to him. He was like, yes, I'd love to take it. Because at the age that they are, Ali, the buzz of coming back and being a manager, you can't take that away. Nothing's going to replace being a manager, is it?
No, it's very true. Very true. I'll be really interested to see how he does. I'm delighted to see him back.
Yes.
And I think the game's obviously better for guys like
Because I think deep down, Ali, you would love another go.
Yeah.
I know part of you is like, no, I've done that. But that buzz, when your team scores and your tactics to come off, Ali, and you're having a bit with the opposition manager.
I know, mate. I know. Yeah, I know. You're right. No, you're not wrong. You know what I mean? There's always a bit biting away at the back of your head.
Just what could you do at a club? Just what?
I know. These guys, it's like a drug to them. There's no doubt about it.
Just take one of your kids' team, Ali.
Absolutely. We're going to move on to the Japanese Grand Prix in the weekend because Kimi Antonelli came out on top to continue Mercedes' fantastic start. But the papers are focusing on something else. At times, it's the driver's fury to Bierman crash, which he had a crash one of the Alpines, I think, and in the mail. Brit Bierman's 191 miles per hour crash, and it was obviously at the track at Suzuka. Carlos Sainz blames the new 2026 hybrid engines for creating dangerous speed gaps, and a frustrated Max Verstappen is now openly questioning his future in the end of racing, which he clearly dislikes. Joining us now from Warren, this is YouTube presenter and podcaster Tomo McCloskey. Tomo, good morning, mate. How
good morning,
are you?
Tomo.
Morning, boys. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Great to see you again, mate, and thanks for taking the time to join us. We do really appreciate it. Plenty to talk about. Millions going on at the weekend. I'm going to start with the positives. I mean, again, Antonelli, what a performance and a great result for Mercedes.
Absolutely, Matt. I mean, you got to say breakout star. He's the youngest driver to ever lead the F1 World Championship. He's not even 20 years old yet. He wasn't even allowed alcohol on the podium because in Japan the age of drinking is 20. So he had a brandless bottle. No, he's been so impressive this year. The composure to deliver, it's all well and good putting it on pole. That's impressive. But to deliver over a race distance, he's had a bit of luck with the safety car. Don't get me wrong, but George Russell has got a hell of a task on his hand to beat this kid over the course of this season because Kimi's up for it. You can tell he's got I think there's a degree of kind of freedom that comes with youth, and I'm sure you guys can, in the football game, when you're young and there's nothing to lose, is there? And Kimi's just turned up and he's got that raw talent. And George Russell is still the favourite for this year, but it's not going to come easy.
Tomo, was it a bit of luck though? Because I watched the Grand Prix and he started on pole, didn't he? But had a dreadful start, got overtaken by a few drivers. Then that safety car come at the right time, didn't it, for himself and Lewis Hamilton? And then he just strolled to victory, didn't he?
It did. You know what? It was one of those where in motorsport, safety cars happen, right? And George did get unlucky with it. Kimi did get lucky. They both had poor starts, to be fair. Oscar Piastri jumped both of them. Charles Leclerc jumped both of them at the start as well. So that's a bit of a problem for Mercedes. But look, in motorsport, these opportunities present themselves, whether you take them or not. He won by 14 seconds in the end, Kimi. So when he did get ahead, he just drove off. He was the faster Mercedes this weekend. He did have a bad start. He needs to work on it. Toto Wolff said he needs to go back to driver's school because these youngsters don't know how to use clutches anymore, which, I mean, that's a fair point, I think, lads. But yeah, Kimi's got so much raw ability, and I think Toto Wolff, he missed out on Max Verstappen years ago, and I think he sees a lot of that raw potential to be, a multiple world champion in Kimi, and he doesn't want to let him go, and he doesn't want to let this opportunity pass. So it's a difficult one for Toto to manage as well as this season goes on. We're only, 3 races to this, 22 race season. I mean, it's going to be close. It's going to be exciting. I'm very, very excited to see Antonelli bloom as well. He's still so early on in his career.
We're definitely looking forward to it, Tom. And I mean, excitement is what we all really want. With the Classic a few years back, obviously with Verstappen and Hamilton going all the way, and there's been some good contests. But tell me, I mean, getting back to the car, right, the hybrid engine, Tommy, and you can enlighten me because it's now getting criticism from one or two of the other drivers. I know it's clearly Verstappen's not happy about it. He's been quoted as saying he's not enjoying it. He said it's not natural. Am I right in saying there's a 50-50 split between the internal combustion and the internal power, so it makes them drive, or it's driving a completely different? Now, it's all very fit and well having an opinion on it and saying, I don't fancy it, it's not for me. However, Carlos Sainz has come out and said he's blaming Beerman's crash with the Alpine on it. That can't be good.
No, it's one of those situations where the drivers are the ones ultimately putting themselves in potential danger here, driving the cars. They're going to have their own opinions, even compared to the teams that they drive for, right? Now, Carlos Sainz, he is head of the Grand Prix Drivers Association. So him and George Russell, they both, take it on themselves to represent the drivers and put the case forward. And this has been spoken about since even before these regulations began, right? A concern that we're going to have big closing speeds because these engines have gone from a roughly 80-20 split, so 80% kind of internal combustion engine versus the battery, to close to 50-50. Now, it's not quite 50-50, but it's close.
Yeah.
And that means that when you are out of battery, you are way down on power relative to the other cars behind you. So in this instance, you had Franco Colapinto, who was harvesting, trying to charge his battery. Behrman was deploying his, and you've got an unreasonable closing speed. It's about 50 kilometers an hour difference, which, about 30 miles an hour. It doesn't sound like much, but in these kind of racing situations where you've got a narrow track like Suzuka as well, it is unreasonable, and you're putting a lot of burden on these drivers to be able to pick their position. And it's just one of those, it's really unfortunate. It's a 50G deceleration for Ollie Behrman, like a really scary shunt. Very similar numbers to when Verstappen and Hamilton had their crash in Silverstone in 2021 when Verstappen hit the wall. And I mean, it's a long time since we've seen a driver jump out of the car and look visibly in pain, right? These cars are so safe these days. That was scary, man. Like watching Ollie jump out, like there was a lot of hearts in mouths. So there's a break now. There's no race in April because, of course, Bahrain and Saudi have been cancelled. And I think it's a shame it's had to take this, but I think it's taken this for the FIA to maybe look again, take this a bit more seriously, and not just focus on fixing qualifying, because these engines don't really work in qualifying either, but also in the races where, look, motorsport, it's always going to be dangerous to an extent, but also there is a limit. And I hope that everyone can work together, not only to make the drivers happier, but safer.
Tomo, Red Bull are struggling. Haas and Alpine are above them in the championships. Max Verstappen finishing in 8th position as well. I watched it, mate, and he's not going to accept this much longer, is he? Not being at the front, battling out for the pole.
Yeah, I mean, look, Max it's a long time since he's been in a car that hasn't been able to win Grand Prix, really. His entire Red Bull career. I mean, he won in Barcelona when he was like 18 in 2016. So look, I think there are many factors that contribute to Max Verstappen's displeasure. I mean, he's had a lot of change going on in his life, of course, as of recently became a father. He's been doing a lot of stuff at the Nürburgring with his kind of GT team. He does loads of sim racing and is really involved in that as well. And again, he's won 4 world championships. He's put it on record multiple times. That, if he wins 8 or 4, it's not going to change his life. He seems to be motivated differently to the likes of Fernando Alonso, who's going to stick around and try to get that 3rd championship he so greatly deserves. And yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see. I think Max, from what he's alluded to, he wants to hear what the FIA and Formula One are planning to do to change these rules as this season goes on, but also from 27 onwards, and then he'll make his decision based on that. I mean, it's not out of the question. Drivers, again, Fernando Alonso, Nico Hülkenberg, Kimi Räikkönen did it as well. You have taken a step away from F1 and then returned. Well, he's still young. He's still in his 20s, so there's still an opportunity for that. But we will see.
That's what I was going to say to you, mate, before I go to a break, because interesting enough, it has been done before, and there looks as though a chance that they could do it again, because it was Damon Hill, on one of the podcasts. Damon Hill reckons it might be in Max's best interest to kind of step away. He didn't say retire, and I said step away and take a break, like one or two of the drivers you've mentioned have already done.
Yeah, I mean, look, maybe. I think any option is on the table. I think this is the most candid we've ever seen Max speak about his future in the sport. And I mean, he holds the cards, doesn't he? I mean, he's the most in-demand driver in motorsport, not just in F1, in the world, right? He could jump into any series he wants. He's got that freedom. Again, he's got the four world championships. I don't think he feels like he has anything to prove. And I just think it will, in my opinion, it's going to depend on how these conversations go over April, and then he'll make a decision. I think there's a clause in his contract where if he's not second in the Drivers' Championship by a certain point this season, he can leave. And looking at the Red Bull, he's not going to be anywhere near second. So it would be a terrible look for F1 if their best driver walks away from the sport because basically they're not happy with the rules. So I do wonder as well how much he'll work with the powers that be and how desperately they'll try and keep hold of him, because he's a huge asset to the sport.
Yes.
No doubt about it. Tom, that was brilliant this
Cheers,
morning. Really
Tomo.
appreciate you joining us.
Cheers, gents. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Have a good week. Lovely to see you, mate. Have a good week. Right, still to come in breakfast this morning.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Download the new improved app to easily manage your accounts and quotes.
That's harsh, Ed. That is harsh. A bit of SOS by ABBA there, and let's be honest, it's the only song playing at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium right now. With Chiragon, the search is on. Spurs fans were sending out the distress signal this morning. Who's the one person on this planet who can actually save the club? Give us a call. Want to hear from you this morning, Tottenham fans. 03717 22 3344. That was our breakfast preview, of course, with our good friends at Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Get free next day track delivery. Head to travisperkins.co.uk or download the app.
We're talking all things Harry Maguire. John is a Man United fan. Jonathan?
How are you doing? You okay?
I'm great. Very well, man. How are you today?
Yeah, very good. Very good. Thank you.
What's that noise? Have you just opened your wallet?
No, you have to excuse me. It's the police going past in Hereford, which means there's probably a cat stuck in a tree somewhere.
Okay. Well, just be careful.
Oh, yeah, I'm being safe, mate. Hands free and all that.
Good, good. Go on, off you go.
Yeah, talking about Harry Maguire. So, I'm a United fan. Has he let the club down on numerous occasions? Yes, he's a bit of a Marmite player. But with regards to England, I can't think of a time he's ever actually let England down.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
point.
Every time he's put an England shirt on, he's always done a job.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest thing.
Would you start him for England?
I'd start him for England, yeah.
You would?
For his experience, for his age, yeah, I think he's a solid centre-back. He, like I said, never let him down.
Are you pleased that he's
sticking at the
signing?
back with Gay.
Are you pleased he's signing another year at United?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. He brings a lot of, like... Okay, it's Monday the 30th of March. The time is 6:49, just gone 6:50. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. What do we know this Monday morning? Although I'll tell you what I do know. I know it's not Friday. Somebody's written Friday in my script. However, talkSPORT understands that Spurs will push the boat out to bring in Robert De Zerbi after Igor Tudor left the club after 44 days in charge. This is a great wee story, Gabby. Gary Woodland, who underwent brain surgery in the late
in late 2023 and recently shared his battle with PTSD, broke down in tears after winning the Houston Open to claim his first title in 7 years. Brilliant it was.
Yes.
Next up for Woodland, the Masters, the best Sunday evening of the year in Augusta, and it's just over a week. Cannot wait for that, mate. Unless the Tigers coach Jeff Parling has apologised for swearing. I haven't seen it, mate. And swearing at and shoving presenter Craig Doyle. Oh, he wasn't shoving me, Craig.
Ali, it was unbelievable. It was at Villa Park, and
No
I think
way.
it's TNT. They've set up one of their presenters to take a free kick, and he's pinged it, missed obviously, and the coach has come over and he sort of like swore and pushed one of the TNT presenters. Basically, get off the pitch. Hilarious, Ali.
You're joking.
Hilarious, mate.
I'll need to watch it. I'm going to watch it in the break.
Rugby needs to relax a bit, like, fine.
Well, Craig Doyle, who as it happens is a great guy, joined the weekend sports breakfast yesterday to reflect on the incident.
I showed the Slater Cup and talked about Ed Slater and Lewis Moody. And then I have to go out in the pitch, and then I'm like, where's Liam? Now, this is Liam's debut, might I add. What a lovely fella Liam is, right? Yeah. Great broadcaster. It's his debut. And I'm like, he's on the pitch, Craig. He's going to... And I'm presuming this has all been cleared with everyone, that everyone knows what's happening. There's loads of people there. And I'm like, oh, there's Liam. Liam, all right, here's your initiation. You want to do this kick. Fair play to Liam. He wants to give it a belt. And next thing, Jeff comes over, and I thought he was going to have a laugh. And I'm like, will you sign him, Jeff? He's like, boosh. But I didn't even know he pushed me. I said to Jeff last night, if you're going to push me, pal, push me harder, because I didn't even feel that big, man.
Hilarious, Ali. Hilarious.
I'm actually watching it right now. It's a good effort, the kick, by the way. It's a good effort. He's always coming over. He's got his hands in his pockets. I'm giving you the commentary. Shoves him out the road. No, he's not happy. He's not happy.
Kick it and run. He's coming for you.
By the way, what's his problem? They're promoting the game, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Old school, are they?
Absolutely. Well, a man who's not happy with Parling's behaviour. 5-time Premiership winner Andy Good. Andy's going to be joining us later. It is now, Gabby, time for a bit of this.
Let it grow, let it grow.
Yes.
Let it blossom, let it flow.
We're just slowing things down ever so slightly, Gabby. A bit of Let It Grow by 18-time Grammy winner, the one and only Eric Clapton, who turns 81 today.
Legendary, Hoisty.
Oh, what a guitarist, man. Angelina's back with us. Angelina, how are you?
I'm all good.
We're laughing at Angelina.
Do you like a bit of Clapton?
I'm laughing at you pretending to know who that even was.
Don't underestimate me. I know a few, yeah. We'll do a quiz later.
Layla? Layla? Do you know Layla?
Who?
Layla?
Yeah.
No? Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
So I can't hear you.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's technical issues. Anyway, we are talking, about Jason Cundy and this hair transplant. We've got an update. We have an update. We have seen pictures on social media. He's posted a picture on Instagram. And the comments, by the way, are hysterical. We've got, if you're watching on your TV, on YouTube, we've got it up now. That looks painful.
By the way, Angelina, it does. And I watched it before I went to my bed last night, and he came on, and he's obviously telling everybody how it's going well and all that stuff. And I hope it has got. It certainly looks a lot more painful than Jason saying it is, but. I mean, he seems fairly happy with it. He said there's no pain there. But boy, it looks
sore. His head looks a bit swollen. I mean, the people in the comments on Instagram are not sympathetic. We've got there's a few, has anyone seen Cundy's hairline, hair follicles? The hairline's taken one hell of a beating. People asking if it will stay on. Encouraging early signs. This is the reason that he was wearing the Ange mask on Sports Bar. Up the hairline, you'll be needing Goldstein's golden paste soon. It goes on.
You see, like his hair there? I think it suits him. If he could...
What, the bald hair?
You know what my friend's got? My friend, and it's common, is the hair tattoos.
Hair tattooing,
So you tattoo on your hairline and whatever. I think that would suit him.
So it looks like you've got a shaved head, like a buzz cut.
Yeah.
But the bits that are missing, they just kind of do little dots tattoo.
And you have it looks like Ali, you've got a hairline, but it's like a low. Just, do you know what I mean? Like a low level. I think Cundy looks fine there, as he was.
Bald.
So do
I
I.
think it suits him.
Yeah.
Some people are scared of the thought, Ali, of being bold.
I mean, you're just
that suits him.
promoting the bald head because you were not a candidate for.
I didn't have a choice. I actually went.
You actually went.
Me and my friend went right in 2014, Ali.
Did you, mate?
And we had to take these tablets, these like hormone tablets to make your hair grow before we went in. And the guy, I went in there, Ali, and the guy said to me, mate, like, you got more chance of getting hair out of a bald egg. And like, honestly, Ali, it was in London. I can't remember where it was. And I went to see the guy, and he was like, sorry, mate. Your hair isn't thick enough. I was like, okay, mate. I was going to shave it all off. Yeah, you have to have certain thickness of hair to get the transplant.
Ali, did you shave your head once?
Oh, aye. I mean, I've done.
How was that? Did that work out well?
No, sadly never. Because, unfortunately, unlike Jace and Gab, when I shaved my head, it looked as though somebody had pumped my head full of helium at the same time. I just had this big, massive ball face, right, with a bald head. It was shocking, absolutely shocking. So it looked as though not only had I shaved my head, but somebody had pumped my head full of helium at the same time, and I did big, massive napper. So no, I don't think I'm going to go for that look again. Although the penalty spot at the top is expanding.
It's okay.
Okay, that's all right. It's at the back. You can't see it.
Exactly.
That's all. Yeah, you'll be fine. I mean, Sam Matterface did have one quite early on. He didn't have to shave his head for his procedure, according to his Instagram. Anyway, he just got the little sides done. But I don't know if that means he's going to have to go back. Sometimes you have to go for a second round.
He dyes his hair as well, doesn't he, Sam?
Does he?
Yeah, apparently. I don't want to throw him under.
Well, I'll ask Alex Crookie.
That's what Crookie told me. He dyes his hair.
You know what, Crookie, though? He's throwing all kinds of accusations at him. You can't trust him. But
so I take it with JC's, we're going to have to monitor the situation.
Yeah.
When are we really going to see whether it's worked? I take it's worked.
It takes a few months, doesn't it? Because sometimes it can grow and look like it's all right, but then it kind of goes back. You go backwards almost. So
did he know, Angela? Did he not say on his Instagram last night when I watched it? He said that's the scabs beginning to form.
Yeah.
And he said that's a good thing.
Yeah, apparently the scabs are good. I remember being on a flight home from Turkey. I was covering a Man United game with talkSPORT, and the rows of men with these swollen heads. Oh, it was awful. But I just wanted to let you guys know, though, because even if the hair transplants aren't for you guys, there are a lot of procedures for men nowadays.
Hey,
I mean,
come on,
you've got things like Botox, obviously. Nothing wrong with. No, just your face just men in general. All these things. You get a bit of facelift.
No.
There is a male Brazilian butt lift.
Butt?
Yeah, your rear. Yeah, you can have a bum lift.
Get your bum done.
Yeah, a Brazilian. You know how
what's
there's
going
a lot
on
of talk
here?
about women having Brazilian butt lifts. Men can have them as well.
What's going on?
You can have abdominal
Angela,
etching. That's when you six
get back to the bum lift. Get back to the bum lift.
The bum lift, yeah.
What do you mean, lift?
Talk me through it.
Right, so you would have fat taken from somewhere else in your body would then be that would then be put into your rear, into your behind, and then you'd have like more of a bubble butt.
Jeans don't fit as it is, Ali.
By the way, Gabby, I'm running about with a backside like red rum. Right, I've got a bum like red rum, and she's one me got a bum lift.
I'm just saying it's an option.
You've got
six-pack one. So the six-pack. This is sparked Gabby's interest here. Abdominal etching, known as six-pack surgery. So it's a procedure that enhanced the abdominal muscles. Drake was accused of getting this and the bum lift, but he says that he didn't get either.
So the surgery to give you a six-pack?
Yeah, so it basically... I assume
Ali, when we going?
Oh, you and I we'll get a 2 for 1.
There you go. I'm going to look into it for you guys. You can also get surgery where you can grow several inches. So some men get their legs broken and metal.
Height we're talking here, I'm guessing.
Height we're talking, yes. Men get their legs broken and metal spokes put in.
I don't need it anywhere else. Thanks, Angelina.
Okay,
we're
just checking.
Has Sam Matterface had that done as well?
Maybe.
Yeah.
where every Thursday we'll be joining the studio by rapper and Spurs fan, AJ Tracy. How are you?
How you doing, fella? Not too bad.
Good. Now, we spoke to you on the phone before. I've never met you, right?
You spoke to me on the phone before, yeah.
Okay, do I call you AJ, Trace?
You call me whatever you want to call me.
Yeah, but what do your pals call you?
AJ, Age.
Age,
yeah.
Okay,
Age.
nice to meet you, Age.
If we've had a beer, it's Age.
Age, okay.
Yeah,
we should do that, Mark, on Thursday.
Yeah?
Thursday's a great night to go out.
I heard the fridge is stocked over here. I might be here for...
Forget the food. We'll go across the road for a few. Can I ask what AJ stands for?
AJ, it's a multitude of things, but it's just a stage name that I thought makes sense. It sounds like a normal name, though. It sounds like a government name, which is why I picked that rather than one of these crazy aggressive rapper names. I thought something that will sell, something that a mother's not going to look at. Their kid wants the AJ Tracy record. They're going to be that name's crazy. I'm not going to buy the record. Just a nice, normal...
It's a friendly name.
It's a friendly name. Yeah. It's marketable.
Obviously it is because it works.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah. You said it, not me. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much for coming in.
No, thanks for having me.
What are you up to at the moment? We're going to talk loads. I know you're big Spurs.
By the way, if I wasn't here with you, I'd be watching this. By the way,
how nice is that?
Of course I would. I watch.
Is it your favourite show?
Yeah, it is. It is definitely.
Oh, that's nice of you. Well, you're our favourite artist.
Oh, appreciate that. Thank you. You had to say that.
You know.
Should we ruin the conversation by talking?
Go ahead. Let's do it.
You're a Spurs fan, right?
I am. I'm bracing myself. I am.
Are you looking forward to football in the Championship next season?
Look, the truth of the matter is, I, as a fan, I can't do anything about the situation. Is that accepted? Yeah, is that granted?
Yeah.
So the banter, I have to take it. Of course, I have to say, give it. That's fine. That's fair enough. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, I'll be doing the same. So that's fine. Yeah. We're gonna get out of the way. Second of all, if we are in the Championship,
Aguero, Solskjaer, Deeney, Watkins. Sure, you know all about those last-minute goals, but have you heard the one about the on-loan goalkeeper who saved his temporary employers from disappearing out the Football League and into almost certain financial oblivion? Back in 1999, Carlisle United, managed by Nigel Pearson, were fighting to stay in the Football League. Carlisle's finances were precarious with a capital P that season, leading to a scenario where, with 3 games to go, they had to ask the FA to sanction an emergency loan deal to bring in a goalkeeper. Swindon Town's Jimmy Glass arrived at the club. His efforts in his first 2 games earned the Cumbrians 2 draws. Those vital points meant that Carlisle went into their final game of the Division 3 season, now League 2, needing to beat mid-table Plymouth Argyle in front of their own fans and hope their relegation rival Scarborough didn't win against Peterborough at home. The game at the McCain Stadium finished 1-1, and with the same scoreline at Brunton Park deep into injury time, Scarborough's fans invaded the pitch en masse, believing their Football League status was secure, convinced they'd done enough to stay up. However, there'd be one more plot twist. Carlisle won a corner in the dying seconds, and up came Jimmy Glass. In one of those you couldn't make it up moments, Glass scored from a rebounded header and was promptly swamped by teammates and thousands of fans who quite simply couldn't believe what they'd just witnessed. As for Jimmy Glass, he became an overnight celebrity, but he never played for Carlisle again, and his playing career never really kicked on after that defining moment. He took on various jobs outside of football before finding his way back into the sport as player liaison officer at Eddie Howe's Bournemouth, and most recently the general manager at non-league Wimborne. Not the fairy tale ending to one of the most Hollywood moments in football, but the name Jimmy Glass will live on forever as the scorer of that goal, arguably the most important in any club's history.
Gabby, I've watched that incident with Craig Doyle about 5 times, man. He's raging. He's raging. Honestly. I mean, what's he talking about protecting his players? What, I'm getting hit by a ball or something? Come on.
I know. Incredible, isn't it, Ali?
Oh, man, that is quite funny, isn't it? Anyway, good morning, everybody. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Browse the UK's best used car deals and score your dream car today. Check out the website for more details. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. And what have we got for you this morning? Well, I'm going to tell you, mate. We're speaking to a man who won the league and an FA Cup with Everton. Club legend Graham Sharp. Brilliant, big Sharpie's coming on. And all striking partners with Scotland as well, Gabby. Sharpie was, so I'm looking forward to speaking to him.
Don't know you're running, yeah?
Oh, Sharpie could play. What a centre-forward. Great centre-forward. And reflecting on another statement win for Moses Ituma. All that and loads more to come. After picking up just 1 Premier League point in 5 games, it's time up, sadly, for Igor Tudor.
Igor Tudor is no longer the manager of Tottenham Hotspur.
1 place, 1 point above the relegation places.
Now it's all about a manager coming in and getting the players to believe in themselves.
I find that absolutely astonishing that they don't have anybody in place.
I don't think there is an answer. I think, seriously, we are going to struggle to get those 6 points that we need.
Not knowing the Premier League and then coming in, and it seemed that he wanted to, go head-to-head with a lot of the players there. Very strange appointment.
For me, it's a categorical no. I hope that Zerbi doesn't take the Spurs job just yet.
I think there's only one name. I don't know if it's that popular. They've got to unite their fans. They have to know the group. It has to be Ange Postecoglou.
That's right, just after 44 days in charge, either Tudor and Spurs announced yesterday that they will be parting ways. His reign equalled Brian Clough's infamously short tenure at Leeds. I remember that, 44 days. Although I don't think we're making any films about this one. This is the 4th shortest reign of any Premier League manager. Just 5 days longer than Ange at Forest and 35 longer than 9-day Tudor Queen Lady Jane Grey. Oh no, you're taking a mickey now. And for a bit more context, it's thought that the average human would be able to walk from London to the heart of the Swiss Alps in such time as Tudor has been in charge. I want to know who worked that one out. We're going to take a call on somebody that's called 03717 223344. It's Eli. Eli, very good morning to you. Thanks for taking the time to call us this morning. Is this the right thing that's happened, Eli?
Yeah, good morning. Talking about Tottenham Hotspur now, my club that I've supported over maybe 50 odd years. Yeah. What I'm saying to you is, picking the manager, I'm not sure which type of manager you want for the next 7 games, but I don't think it would hurt for a massive football reset, a Tottenham Hotspur reset, to actually go down.
That's a heck of a statement to make, Eli, because I don't think there's any guarantees you can back up, mate. Are you saying you could go down, spend a couple of years down there, rebuild and come back up? Is that what you're saying?
Ali, yeah, good morning to you, sir. I support Hearts, my Scottish team as well, so good luck to them on Saturday. But yeah, back to Tottenham Hotspur. Yeah, yes, Ali, I feel we might not, with the squad we've got. We've only got 3 players there at our club at the moment who actually want to be there and want to fight. And what it actually means to be a Tottenham Hotspur FC player, an actual player of that club, with the history we've got, with the stadium we've got, the training facilities, all those, and 60,000 beautiful fans. And it was only 9 months ago we won a European Cup. On that night, 18, what was it? A day and a half later, you had 220,000 supporters on that Friday night, 5:30, celebrating. You wouldn't get that at many other clubs celebrating our club. Now we've got the history there. We've got the actual stadium there. But it wouldn't hurt us to have a massive football reset, because you know what happened next year? The same thing that we've had for the last few years. People bang, people bang on about Levy going. It's not just Levy at the hierarchy at Tottenham Hotspur. There's others there that have made that football club into a events stadium. That's all it's about. Event stadium and finances coming in through the door. And remember, it's only a few years back we were getting 30,000 crowds. We are now getting 60,000 crowds. Tottenham Hotspur,
Brilliant, Eli.
North London.
Eli, I love it,
thank
mate.
you, Eli,
I'm going
mate.
to have to go, but I'll tell you what, I don't think that's a bad idea. A reset is not a bad idea. I'm not sure you want to be doing it in the Championship, but a reset at the whole football club isn't a bad idea, mate. Thanks for your call. Right, for a bit more on this and who in their Spurs can look to next, we're going to bring in our chief football correspondent. It is, of course, the one and only Alex Crookie. Good morning.
Good morning, Crookie.
Good morning, boys. You good?
Yes. Ali, has he told you he's up for an award, Ali?
Well, it was only a matter of time. What is it? What kind of award?
He hasn't told you. He's told everyone else, Ali.
No, what is the award?
I'm not getting involved. I'll let him tell you, Ali.
Crookie, congratulations. This has escaped me. What is it? Is it Super Bock Drinker of the Week last week? Was that what it was?
I've already won that one. For someone who's not talking about it, Gabby talks about it an awful lot. You've got one of them behind you, actually, Ali, an SJA. I'm up for an SJA.
Ah, good for
Deserved,
you, mate.
Cookie.
Well deserved, mate. Best of luck to you. Hope it goes well. What do you think, Cookie? I mean, it's straightforward. I mean, I'm saying the place needs a complete lift, Crookie, right? And I'm thinking like somebody like Harry Redknapp, what is Glenn Hoddle, Chris Hughton, something like that gives the place a lift. You get in the dressing room, you try and get them going, because clearly the Igor Tudor kind of thing doesn't work. I don't think there's no guarantees anywhere, right? I get that. But I just think something closer to home would be a better option.
Yeah, listen, I think they've gone down the sort of disciplinarian route with Igor Tudor. Clearly didn't work. So I think a Harry Redknapp type who's going to put his arm around the players, try and instill a bit of confidence and a belief for what is a huge run in now. 7 games left to save their Premier League status would be the way forward. As of yesterday, he'd not had an approach. Actually, nor had a lot of the names that have been spoken about. Glenn Hoddle, Chris Hughton, obviously former Tottenham player, and coach as well. Robbie Keane is doing a great job over in Hungary. No approach for him either. As of last night, it did seem that all their eggs are very much in the Roberto De Zerbi basket. Tottenham, they want him to come in as their next permanent manager. They want him to come in now. I think he's going to take a little bit of convincing to do that, because the plan with De Zerbi all along has been to take the rest of the season off and then start afresh in the summer, having left Marseille. As I say, talks continuing between Spurs and De Zerbi. There has been a bit of pushback to that potential appointment by some Tottenham supporters groups. Speaking to people at Brighton, he doesn't necessarily come across as that arm around the shoulder manager, but he is someone the players absolutely adore. He's got that track record in the Premier League, so I think it would be a sensible appointment. What I find bizarre about this whole situation, and you talked about they're not going to make a film of the Igor Tudor reign. They were making a film of Tottenham's season. It would be a horror story. Every decision they've made has backfired. Why did they keep Thomas Frank in situ for so long? Why did they stumble upon Igor Tudor in the first place when he never felt like the right fit? And why, having decided to relieve him of his duties, partly because of the death of his father, that's why it's being dressed up as mutual consent, why have they not got someone ready to go and hit the ground running and take training straight away? It's a strange situation.
I think they're probably waiting as well, Crookie. There's a lot of players away on international break. They've probably got a few more days, haven't they, before they all come back. But with De Zerbi, why would you take it? Because this squad of players, are they going to react to a manager of his style? I don't think they are. And what's the risk for him? Having a relegation from the Premier League on your CV. If only the stay-up bonus is severe. It's got to be like 3, 4, 5, £6 million if he keeps them up.
I think it's telephone numbers, Gabs, and that would be the only reason I think for him to come in now. But there's no guarantees. You know, from what I know about De Zerbi, he's a man of principle. He's a man with quite a clear idea of how he wants to do things. And if his plan is to come in next summer and not now, then he is going to take some convincing. And you do wonder, what is plan B if that doesn't happen? There's been talk of maybe Ben Davis stepping up, who's done his coaching badges. Obviously,
is that realistic?
At the moment.
Was that a realistic one, Crookie?
I think that would be more likely that he would come in alongside a Glenn Hoddle or a Harry Redknapp.
Yeah.
Again, it's the fact this ownership, this board, who promised a bright new dawn when Daniel Levy was relieved of his post as chairman, don't seem to have a clear plan. And actually, as much as the Tudor appointment didn't work out, I'm not sure he should really be the fall guy here. I think you have to look at the decision makers, Johan Lange, the sporting director, Vinay Venkatesan, the chief executive. And from what I was being told yesterday, there's going to be a lot of scrutiny on those guys between now and the end of the season, particularly if it ends in relegation. I think their jobs certainly are under threat.
Brilliant, Croogie. Thanks, pal. All
Top
the
man,
best.
Alex. Good luck.
Have a great
Thanks.
week.
Yes.
Best luck. He's won it hands down. He's won it hands down, man. There's no
Easy.
danger, Gabby. I mean,
He's already celebrated though. Apparently,
blame
Ali.
him. I
He
don't
was
blame him.
celebrating on the weekend already.
Is he going a bit early? Do you
Yeah,
think,
he's gone early to celebrate. Let's hope that he gets it, Ali.
Oh, that wouldn't. Oh no, it couldn't.
He's gone early, mate.
Oh dear. Oh, he'd have to hand it back, wouldn't he?
Yeah, but maybe he knows something we don't. You know, the results before they come out. I
Well,
don't know.
maybe is it one of these one the public vote for, and it's cost him about 14 grand in vote calls?
He did ask me to vote for him, but
Maybe.
you know, I didn't have the time, Ali.
That, of course, is our chief football correspondent, Alex Crook, there. Now, Spurs fan, want to take your calls this morning. Who would you like to see on the touchline for that Sunderland game? Is De Zerbi your man, or does it need to be someone who understands what it means to be a Spurs manager? Give us a call. You know the drill, 03717 22 33 4. Interesting one coming up next. Should we be desperately concerned about Andy Goldstein's ego? Let's be honest, he pulled one at the bag at the weekend, didn't he? Sir
Yes,
David Beckham called into talkSPORT Driving Friday.
Stefan, the cost of missing out on the Champions League. If I throw four at you here, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United or Newcastle, missing out in Champions League, who would feel it most?
Yeah, I think Newcastle would definitely feel it the most, just because the base they're coming off is that much smaller. So therefore the proportion that's associated with Champions League football is that much bigger. And they probably did something like £55 million of UEFA money. And then on top of that, obviously had the 5 home games on top, which are, or 6, probably 6 actually, when you, I think they had a playoff. So that's 6 home games on top. I mean, that's obviously very significant. So you're talking about 75 million quid out of revenue of, let's say, 300 this season. You know, it's quite a big drop next season if it's not there. Now, obviously, they may get Europa or the conference.
The talkSPORT 20k giveaway.
Okay, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. What time we got? It's 7:18. Ally and Gabby, I'm with you this morning. It's competition time now, and it's a big one because talkSPORT are giving away, or giving one lucky listener, I beg your pardon, a chance to bag £20,000 completely tax-free. That's correct, £20,000. Now, don't miss your chance to win this massive amount of money. Here is how to enter for your chance to win. Text WIN to 83338. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or call 0343 418 7260. The lines close at on the 9th of April, at 4 p.m. That's when, of course, if your phone rings, you'll have to answer it. 18 plus, UK residents only. So this is a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com. So for your chance to win £20,000, text win to 83338. It is now time for this.
The talkSPORT 20k giveaway.
Mr. Beckham to you.
Okay, Angelina's back with us. Angelina, that was a bit of a coup for Mr. Goldstein and Benty, wasn't it?
It was. I just wanted to start things off by saying I think it's really nice. Drive have had a brilliant week, which we'll get into. But I thought it was really nice, Gabby, that you were congratulating Alex Crook on his SJA nomination.
Yes.
You've not congratulated Ali or me, actually, on our nominations.
Yeah, but you're used to it, though.
This is my first one.
Okay, this is something new for Alex. So, you know what I mean? I don't want to make a big thing about it with you and Ali, because
Okay.
I thought you was
We're more
every year
professional than
guaranteed.
him,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Listen,
you don't need pat on the backs like him, Ali.
Okay, just wanted to mention that.
No, it's water off a duck's back for us, Angelina, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to highlight it. That's all. Because
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Didn't have to fish for that, did I? But Drive got nominated for an SJA as well.
Amazing.
21 nominations in all for talkSPORT.
Was there really?
Yeah.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
Not surprised, Ali.
No, but 21, I mean, 21's a great number.
Shout out to
yeah.
Sam, who makes the entries, because he's absolutely brilliant work. But they also won Commercial Radio Award for their interview with Noel Gallagher. The Breakfast Show, White and Jordan and Drive have been nominated for Trick Awards for Radio Talk Show. So, yeah, the Drive have been very, very booked and busy. And as you mentioned, Sir David Beckham called up the show. Imagine Sir David Beckham just calling up the show. So, yeah, he was absolutely brilliant. And he spoke about how England will win the World Cup.
We're going to win the World Cup, Bex?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's a nice
Absolutely.
answer.
I've always believed that.
Yeah, I really do, actually, more so than ever before going into this World Cup.
Oh, calling
By
him
the way,
Bex, Ali.
there's another one, right?
Got comfortable quick there, didn't he?
Beckham, right? Beckham, Agbonlahor, Goldstein, right? Honest to goodness, your over enthusiasm and optimism knows no bounds, you lot. He the other day, Angelina, Gabby the other day was telling me, right? It looks as though we'll get France in the semi-final. Do you know what I mean? What's going on?
I've made plans for the semi-final to go out, and watch us play France. Yeah.
Oh,
You're going to go out to America or just go out? Oh,
yeah, I'm going out to America. I got tickets.
Where is that game going to be held?
I mean, that's assuming, guys. I don't want to put your gas at a peep, right? That's assuming France do well. I mean, you're a given. You guys are a given, but it's assuming France manage to win their games, I suppose. Yes, is it?
Ali, look at the quality we've got, though. Come on. You got to believe in us as well, Ali.
Yeah.
You know, Harry Kane, Bellingham, Rodgers.
Well, I guess speaking
Saka.
about Kane, Beckham was also asked about his favourite goal.
I mean, I'd have to say the goal against Greece. Every time you play that clip, every time I hear that, every time I see it, you know, I get an unbelievable feeling. But you know, the halfway line was a goal that I enjoyed. I scored a goal against Deportivo La Coruña for Man United, where I kind of whipped it over the top into the top corner from about 40 yards out. And that was actually one of my favourite goals as well. But if I had to pick one, I think for the occasion, for what it meant to people, I think for what it meant to me after a few years before that being sent off, that was the moment for many reasons. That's my favourite goal.
Right, you better not ask me that question. We'll go into Andy Goldstein and Bentley. We'll go into Drive, right? So, we've not got enough time, right? But you two have a discussion about that.
I think it's got to be that one.
Yeah.
The one against Greece.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So important.
So okay, yeah.
The one against Greece, that was at Old Trafford, Angela?
Yes.
Yeah.
Outstanding free kick.
Yeah.
That was brilliant, wasn't it?
I mean, Sir David Beckham and Robbie Williams have been on Drive recently. It has been amazing, and I think Goldstein's ego through the roof, isn't it? Through the roof.
Well, he's done well, to be fair to him.
Well, to keep him humble, we're going to try to keep him humble at least. We're going to play a round of is it more dangerous than Andy Goldstein's ego? So, first up, What is more dangerous, a hungry crocodile or Andy's ego?
Oh, depends if you're in the water with a hungry crocodile.
Are you on the banks looking at the crocodile?
If you're on the banks, Andy wins it. But if you're in the water, the crocodile
I'm going to go
wins
the crocodile.
Yeah?
I'm going to go the crocodile.
What is more dangerous, a day on the Cobra bombs with Parlour or Andy's ego?
Cobra bombs.
Have you been on the...
Yes.
No. But I can just tell.
Yeah.
I've seen what they
Seen
did
the damage that those Cobra bombs do.
Quite funny to watch.
But you don't want to be a part of it.
I don't want to be a part of it, no.
Yeah.
There he is.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
I didn't see him yesterday. He normally puts his wee bit up on a Sunday, Razor, but I didn't see it. Party Parlour. He normally
Maybe
puts
he'd had
his wee
too
thing up on
many
a Sunday.
Cobra bombs the night before. He was still recovering.
Maybe it was.
What is more dangerous, a Vindaloo the night before a long-haul flight or Andy's ego?
Oh,
you can't...
That's dangerous. That is dangerous to the people around you on the long-haul flight as well.
That's lethal.
That's quite selfish.
That's lethal. You just could not take that chance.
No, why, Ali?
You could not take that chance.
I think that's more dangerous.
Vindaloo more dangerous.
Yeah.
For sure.
Sticking an I Love Celtic sign on Ali's car bumper or Andy's ego?
No, the first one. First one all
That'd
day.
be...
Come on.
There'd be scenes, wouldn't there?
I'd be put them up.
Can't do that.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. That'd be too much. And what about this? What is more dangerous, taking the Spurs job right now or Andy's ego?
Oh, dear me.
Oh,
dear me.
Taking the Spurs job.
But the way things are going, Andy might get the Spurs job the way things are going.
And he can bring his pal Sir David Beckham in to help him out. Robbie Williams, he's done a few soccer aids. Maybe he could get involved. He could bring his...
I'm hearing that, like, Andy's close friends, I don't hear from him anymore. He's got these celebrity friends now.
He's going big time, that right?
Yeah, he's got these. I mean, Ali only answers the phone to like these celebrities now.
You can't be doing that, can you? You've got to keep.
Ones.
Oh, yeah.
Fair play though. I mean, we were over, we did the World Cup draw over in Washington, and Robbie came in to see. I went in. We did. Andy and Bentley were doing one of the shows from one of the bars in Washington. And Robbie Williams came in to see us, and he was brilliant. He was fantastic. Show went well. So, listen, credit where it's due.
Yes.
He's getting the big names, the fella.
Yep, he is. Was that a starstruck moment when you see Robbie Williams? Or do you not get starstruck?
No, I've met Robbie actually a good few times.
Oh, all right.
So,
Sorry.
yeah.
Well, is he in your phone book? That's another one, actually.
I think you might be better asking him that question, to be quite frank. Yeah.
Most famous person in your phone book is Robbie. Has Robbie made the cut into your phone book, Ali? Or you've got to have a few?
Ali will have serious names.
There's a couple in there. You're getting down an avenue I'm not prepared to get down.
Go on. Give us one.
Divulge.
I'm going to name one for him.
Go on.
Calvin Harris, Ali.
Yeah, I'm not divulging too much information.
The future king, perhaps?
07742.
Very good. So listen, the big question is, don't tell me we're all up against each other in this competition, are we?
So for the Trick Award, yeah, you're up against White and Jordan and Drive. With the SJAs, I think we've got Game Day, White and Jordan and Drive all in one.
Brilliant.
Crook's not up against anyone for his. When he didn't win last year, there was scenes, I'll be honest. So we've got fingers crossed for him.
I've spoke to Alan, Ali, and he wants to go and receive the award when we win. He says he's really keen to be there. He's got his suit ready. He's got his shoes, his dicky bow.
There has never been a presenter on any radio station less interested in going to these functions than Big Al, by the way. Honestly.
It'll cost you, Ali, to get him there.
Can you imagine him sitting there with his dicky bow? It ain't happening. I'm telling you now, it ain't happening.
Bring the award to me.
And talking about Big Al, the next question is Moses Ituma good enough to develop into one of the greatest heavyweights of all time? I bet you Big Al says he is.
Tell me, David, but you must be impressed with this young kid, Moses. Every time I see him, I'm like, whoa, who is this kid?
you played in Korea and Japan, didn't you? World Cup in 2002. Did you find it hard, the weather conditions to play in?
They are tough, and in South Africa as well. We played a game, and then the altitude, the ball moves different and everything. And if you're not used to it, as we know, we all love to go on holiday in the summer, but playing football, running around in that heat and that weather, it takes its toll at the time, and we're just not a nation that's used to that. So that's one of the major things I look at when it comes to that tournament being over there.
What about strikers? We know Harry Kane's going to go, but if you looked at the Euros, he was injured, wasn't he? And Gareth Southgate was still playing game. Maybe they didn't trust other strikers in the squad. What do you think of tonight? Do you think Solanke and Calvert-Lewin have to put in a performance?
I think it's their chance of breaking in, isn't it? It's their chance of solidifying themselves in that talk of being the one to take over, because we really don't know who's going to take over from Harry Kane or what it's going to look like after he leaves. I was always an advocate for Ollie Watkins, because he just gives you something different.
Yes.
At times, Kane comes to feet a lot. He's fantastic at turning, sliding people in, and then getting shots off, etc. But what about sometimes you get in behind? And that's what Ollie Watkins gives you. But one thing you got to remember, we've got two left wingers that actually have played up front.
Yeah.
Gordon played in the Euro. I think they won the Euros under 21s, and he was a forward playing up front that whole tournament.
Boxing. It's a sport that makes multi-millionaires out of the world's best fighters, but it's not as flush with cash as you'd think. We all see how much the likes of Tyson Fury or Canelo Alvarez make every fight, but that's not the case for those just starting out, or those who aren't even at that level. For example, if you've just turned pro and don't have a promoter, you have to sell your own tickets, cover the cost of the venue yourself, and pay the taxman at the end of it. You might not even break even, but if you do, you're looking at 5 to 10 grand max. A mid-tier fighter might make more like 10 to 50 grand, but you still have to give up half of that in costs. So unless you're fighting for a world title, it's tough to make money. One potential way of doing it, though, is being a journeyman. Here's former European champion talkSPORT's Spencer Oliver explaining how that could work.
They want to fight every week, and they can be going in against the prospects, so they can demand good money, and they might be demanding like 5 grand, 10 grand for a 6-rounder or something, because they're going in with a prospect. He gets through that, the journeyman gets through that fight, and he can fight again next week.
I mean, even so, it's not much, and you're getting punched in the face for a job. It's only really at the top level, i.e. fighting for titles, where you're earning up to 6 figures and can afford a diamond chain or that Ferrari. So boxing isn't a sport that allows you to retire at 40 and live a life of luxury. Much like a lot of other sports and jobs in general, it takes an awful lot of luck quite early in your career to really make it worth your while.
Okay, 7:34. It is Monday, the 30th of March. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Our good friends, of course, Arnold Clark. There's over 20,000 used cars online to choose from, so they will, without doubt, have the car for you. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. This Saturday, an icon will fall as Derek Chisora collides with the bronze bomber Deontay Wilder. It's live on DAZN, and staying with the heavyweights, we've got to talk about Moses Ituma. It is all happening in the division for sure.
Big fight build-up on talkSPORT with DAZN. Watch Derek Chisora versus Deontay Wilder this Saturday, only on DAZN. Buy now at DAZN.com.
I don't think there's any doubt we're getting the big fights. It's what we wanted for a long time, and we're getting them. Was Saturday night a coming of age for Moses Ituma? And it was live on talkSPORT.
To his crown, and that left uppercut, what a shot that was.
It certainly was. That's right, Moses Ituma stopped excuse me, Jermaine Franklin by knockout KO in the 5th round on Saturday night. Ituma spoke to talk boxing pundit Spencer Oliver. Spencer, I listened to the commentary after the fight and explained just how good it felt to get that KO.
I know everybody was saying that I'm going to knock him out, but I can't believe that. I can't believe into the hype. I can't feed into it. I trained hard, I prepared for him diligently, and I got the knockout I trained for. Not what I deserve, but what I trained for.
Jermaine Franklin is that guy, never been stopped amateur pro. Anthony Joshua, Dillian Whyte took him the distance, and you done what they couldn't do. That is making a statement.
Man, you make it sound good, man. You make it sound good.
That's because it was good, mate. When you bring in a man who's in position for talkSPORT on Saturday night, it's a very, very good morning to our own John Rawling. John, good morning, mate. How are you this morning?
I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
You certainly look it and you sound it, which is great news. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, that was certainly the case for Moses at the weekend, wasn't it? I mean, I know we do, and myself included, sometimes we get carried away, John, but he certainly looks the real deal, doesn't he?
He looked spectacular on Saturday night. The crowd loved it. He loved it. And I mean, that left uppercut, which he exploded onto the jaw of Jermaine Franklin, was a phenomenal punch, and he put him away with the right hand. He was almost knocked unconscious on his feet. And referee Steve Gray, who was right in there, stopped it. Franklin didn't like the fact he'd been stopped in his corner, but you know, I mean, had it continued, he could have been very seriously hurt. I think Moses Ituma is the most exciting young talent that we've seen emerge in British boxing for a long, for a long, long time. He really is looking the real deal.
John, Frank Warren said after the fight that he's hoping that Moses Ituma will be back in July. Who do you think he faces?
Well, I've spoken to Frank this morning, and he's reiterated that. He says that as far as he's concerned, he'll be back in July. And he said, that's, he'd like to put on huge fights, but he says basically all of them are in the reckoning. He thinks that Ituma's ready to fight anybody in world boxing now. Now, who that's going to be is going to be a little bit more difficult to decide, because Tyson Fury is going to be fighting against where are we? He's fighting against the big Russian in a couple of weeks, so he's not going to be available, I don't think.
I don't think he'd want to fight Ituma either.
Beg pardon?
I don't think he'd want to fight Ituma as well.
I don't think he'd be too wild about it, would he?
No.
I actually think the most likely fight, Gabby, is going to be against a big Russian called Murat Gasayev, who beat Kubrat Pulev to beat what they call to take what they call the WBA regular title in July. I think he's the most likely. Alexander Usyk is fighting a kickboxer in Cairo in May 23. I mean, he's the world number one, and he's got the biggest technical ability. He might be the hardest test for our man Ituma, you know. But really, it's a very exciting future. People are saying he's the most exciting heavyweight to emerge since Mike Tyson all those years ago, and there is an argument. He's got speed, and I think that's the big thing.
It's amazing, John. I mean, I can remember, and so will you, Gabby, when Tyson broke onto the scene, it was just a different level. The whole thing just exploded. It was absolutely remarkable. When you get that, I don't think it's there yet, but I absolutely take your point. I can see the similarities. John, I was going to ask you, mate, there's one question, and Gabby and I were talking about it earlier on, about Moses Ituma that hasn't been answered yet, and there's a reason for that. a lot of people say he hasn't gone the distance. We don't know what he'd be like in later rounds, but that's not a problem that he seems to be faced with or bothered with at this moment in time, because there's nobody living with him, mate.
No, that's true. And, everybody says it was a Mike Tyson quote, wasn't it? Everybody's got a plan until they get smacked in the face. And he said, and Ituma is of the same ilk, isn't he? He's got that power and speed, and he hits people so hard. Inevitably, somewhere down the line, there's going to be somebody who gives him problems. That's the nature of boxing. But at the moment, it really does look as though the sky's the limit. Tyson was a phenomenal talent. Ituma's a much bigger man, a southpaw. He's awkward, he's got speed, he moves fast. It's going to take some fighter to beat him.
Maybe not next, John, but maybe a Dubois, Wardley. I'm looking forward to that fight. Don't know who wins that. But I want to see what he's like when he takes a shot from Dubois or Wardley, because they're big hitters, aren't they?
Well, yeah, that's one, again, for the future. They're fighting at the beginning of May, and I think it's a very level fight. It's a very interesting fight, and both of them, as we know, are huge punchers, and that is one which would be easy to be made because both are under contract to Frank Warren. So that's later in the summer. Maybe in September would be a huge fight in the making. And whether it's Dubois, which is easier to make because he's trained by a different camp, if he beats Fabio, then that would be an easy one to make. Fabio Wardley is also trained by Ben Davis, the same man who looks after Ituma, so that one's a trickier one to make. But again, it's one which is very much in the equation and very much in the sight lights for Moses Ituma.
Mate. John, tell me, mate, what's one of the best I've seen, obviously, in a long, long time is Usyk, right? And he looks very, very comfortable on the end has been thrown at him. And I know it's probably for a little bit further down the line. What would Ituma bring to that contest that would give Usyk a big problem? Because he seems to be handling everything that's thrown to him. Would it be the speed that you mentioned and the power? Just the speed and the power?
Yeah, I mean, it's speed, I think, which is the biggest thing that Moses has got on his side. And at the moment, Usyk's done absolutely everything that's been asked of him. He is the world number one, unquestionably. But this guy is young, he's fresh. Usyk's, what is he now? Coming up 39. He can't go on forever.
Yeah.
But if it happened, and I think it will happen, because I think the boxing public, the sporting public, is going to absolutely demand that. I noticed, Ali, a big difference in the reception in Manchester on Saturday night. There were 16,000 people there, and he got a huge reception. I think the British sporting public is really waking up to this guy, and him against Usyk is a natural.
Yeah,
John, you talk about the Tyson era and the Lennox Lewis era. Would someone like Anthony Joshua back then have to fight an Ituma? Would a Tyson Fury have to fight an Ituma? Because if I was them two boxers, I would dodge him at all costs, wouldn't you? But back then, did you have to fight the best up-and-coming star?
It was kind of more likely to happen in those days, but certain fights, they never happened, did they? We never saw Lennox Lewis and Riddick Bowe, which we should have done.
Yeah.
As ever, boxing politics plays its part. But the fact that Frank Warren is now such a dominant player as a promoter on the world stage, that makes these big fights more likely to happen. And I think Frank will make them happen.
John, just a quick one. I've not got a lot of time left, sadly. Chisora versus Wilder, how do you see it going?
It's going to be interesting, isn't it? I mean, both are at the towards the end of their careers. I personally think that Derek might have too much for Wilder. Wilder has looked pretty much a shot fighter in his recent contests. He's never been the same since he fought Tyson Fury. Derek is so hard. I think he'll get in there and he'll rough Wilder up, and I think he'll win that fight. But it'll be interesting.
Brilliant, John. Listen, loved your work at the weekend.
John.
Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks, guys.
Take care. That was a look ahead, obviously, to Chisora versus Wilder with DAZN. And do not forget, you can watch it live this Saturday only on DAZN. Buy now at DAZN.com.
Big fight build-up on talkSPORT with DAZN. Watch Derek Chisora versus Deontay Wilder this Saturday, only on DAZN. Buy now at DAZN.com.
Right, excellent. We've got a wee Brucey bonus coming next, particularly for the Everton fans. Up next, we're joined by a true legend, 4-time major trophy winner, Graham Sharp. Big Sharp, he'll be joining us next.
Liverpool have announced on Tuesday the cost of attending a match at Anfield is going to increase. It's going to go up by 3% next season, following further increases in line with inflation over the next two campaigns. They've decided to do this despite consulting with the Liverpool FC Supporters Board, a decision which was firmly opposed by fan leaders. Liverpool have revealed that adult general admission tickets, which currently cost £39 to £61, are going to rise between about £1.25 and £1.75. Adult season tickets, priced at £713 to £904, will increase by £21 or £27. They say the cost of junior tickets and local general tickets available to those with a Liverpool postcode would remain frozen. Fenway Sports, though, the owners of Liverpool, have been in charge since 2010, haven't increased prices on the Kop since they took over in 2010. So I suppose the big question is why have they decided now to put up the prices, and why do they believe that they need to go up over the next 3 years?
Okay, 7:48. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. Right, it's now time to be joined by this man.
Sheedy, well played by him. Still Sheedy, chip right across, and Graham Sharp coming in, and Everton take the lead.
We had that ethic and desire to be the best we possibly could be. Nobody could ever drop their standards at the football club. Nowhere. If your standards dropped, you went in the team.
Looking for Sharp, and he got behind Lawrence, and there did Sharp. What a fantastic goal! An unbelievable finish from Graham Sharp. And the Evertonians have gone berserk. I haven't seen a goal quite like that in a Merseyside derby for years.
That's right, I'm absolutely delighted to say my big pal's joining us now, big Graham Sharp. Sharpie, how are you this morning? Thanks for joining us, mate.
Morning, Graham.
I'm fine, guys. Thanks very much. Nice to hear from you.
Great to see you, mate. Sharpie, let's just a quick one before we move on to Everton. Obviously, Scotland down at the stadium for the game against Ivory Coast. I watched the game the other night against Japan. It wasn't a great game. You know what it's like. These games before major tournaments, they're kind of necessary evils, aren't they, mate?
Absolutely, Ali. You're still expected to win them, kind of thing. And I know that it was a disappointing performance. I thought they lacked a threat up front. But listen, these are just friendly games. I think Steve Clarke alluded to it afterwards, kind of thing. The most important thing is actually the World Cup finals. But listen, disappointment, but still a long way to go in terms of there's a game, obviously, at the new stadium tomorrow. So we're looking for improvement there. But they are hard games. They're giving players a chance as well. It's not just about the first 11. So it's always going to be up and down. It's not necessarily if you go into the tournament on the back of 4 or 5 wins, you're going to actually proceed and get further in the tournament.
In many ways, Sharp, it's a kind of no-win situation with some of these games. You know what it's like. I want to ask you, though, I was at Hill Dickinson last week. We're doing a wee bit of filming for something. I haven't been to a game. First time I was in it, really impressed. It looks absolutely tremendous. And then, of course, 2 days later, the place was absolutely jumping with the result and performance against Chelsea.
Yeah, Ali, I think that was the best performance there. I think it's been a problem for them this season. I think many times you talk about teams moving to a new stadium, there seems to be a little bit lull kind of thing. They can't get used to it. That's been the case at Everton. Some of the performances have been poor. The crowds have been quiet, but certainly it took off against Chelsea. It was a fantastic atmosphere. That's something they'll want to establish over the years now with that kind of atmosphere. Goodison was renowned for it, so hopefully we can do it at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. But the Chelsea game was the best game there this season.
It's incredible, isn't it, Graham, to think that after 31 games, Everton are 3 points behind their rivals Liverpool and every chance this season to finish above them.
Absolutely, Gabby. I think David Moyes come in and, it's amazing when you think a new manager comes in and people are a little bit sceptical and say, I'm not sure if she'd be back. But David Moyes, I have to say, has done an absolutely fantastic job to get Everton where they are at this moment in time. People are talking about European qualification. Is that feasible? Yes, of course it is. Yes. If they can go on from, the Chelsea performance and replicate in the remaining games to be seen, David's done a fantastic job, and there's talk about a new contract now, and I think people are talking about, let's change him kind of thing, but who's out there? I think David deserves another opportunity.
Why would you change him, though, when
Absolutely.
He's working?
Absolutely.
We see some of these new managers come in now, and they haven't got a clue. So someone with experience, he's doing it in the Premier League. Why would you think of a change?
Yeah, exactly. And I think the same you can say about Scotland, Steve Clarke. I know there was boos the other night when they got beat with Japan kind of thing. But listen, they're doing good jobs in difficult circumstances. David came in at a difficult time just to steady the ship. But it's more than that. He's produced performances. He's brought in players who have, risen to the occasion. You look at James Garner, you look at Dewsbury Hall. All fantastic players. So I think the future's bright for Everton at this moment in time. And I think as long as David stays in charge, I think there's a bright future.
You touched on it there, Sharpie. I was looking at the Everton side, particularly one against Chelsea. The spine's good. I love the goalkeeper, 2 centre-backs, Tarkowski and Keane are solid. You mentioned Garner, who's been... you heard, I don't know if you heard, the English lads have been, Jordan Henderson particularly, have been absolutely raving about him. You've got something different in the team with Ndiaye. I think you're a better side with Dwight McNeil in it. There's a lovely balance about the side at the moment.
There is, Ali, and Jack Grealish obviously was here and then he's injured kind of thing. We don't know what the situation is going to be with him, but David's amassing a pool of players who are quality players. I have to say that there has been a problem up front this season.
Yes.
I think that's been the only position where it's been, whether it's Beto or Barry in there kind of thing. I think, obviously they'll be looking to strengthen in that department as well. But when you look at, you said James Garner, absolutely fantastic, and I think Ndiaye, world-class quality player. So hopefully the most important thing now is keeping hold of these players and moving forward as a team.
The kids won't understand, will they? But this is where Everton should be. This is where Everton should be fighting for. I remember during my time at Villa under Martin O'Neill, we were fighting with that David Moyes Everton side, Pienaar, Cahill. Jolyon Lescott was there at the back as well. Arteta. They were always fighting, wasn't they, for top 4, top 5, top 6. And this is where Everton fans want to see their club. But if they do qualify for Europe, it's got to be a big summer, hasn't it? With trying to get better players in.
Absolutely, Gabby. You're spot on kind of thing. Everton over the years, even going back as far as I was concerned, you had to play a certain way at Everton Football Club. You had to show grit and determination. And that's what we had in abundance in our team. And I think when the fans go to whether it be the new stadium or Goodison Park, they wanted to see a performance from your team. And I think for many years they lost that little identity. They're getting that back now under David. And listen, hopefully the future's bright, as you said, about the European qualification. If they could do that this year, that would be incredible, considering where they've been in the last 2 or 3 years. To get European qualification is a marvellous achievement for David and the players.
I've got to say, Sharpie, I think it would be absolutely unbelievable.
Yes.
And there is, unless I'm mistaken, you tell me, there's still one Merseyside derby to come, hasn't there? So,
yeah.
I mean, you're sitting 3 points behind Liverpool, and I know competition up there's fierce, and a lot of the sides are more than capable of beating each other. But here's one for you, Sharpie. I mean, European football would be unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
But with it, obviously, brings added problems in the respect of more games, players, getting tired. Would they have to increase the playing squad dramatically if they get European football?
Yeah, I think so, Ali. I think they'd have to. This is no disrespect whatsoever, but more quality into the side as well. There's a couple of young players coming through. They'd have to get them in and then around the place as well. But no, obviously with that, as you quite rightly said, the players and the demands of the fans, they want European competition. They want to see them going far in Europe. That would lead to bringing new players in, but. Listen, I've got every bit of faith in David. I think he's been good in the transfer market before. He knows his players. I think he wants to be involved in the signing of the players as well, which I think is important. Nowadays, with the new model kind of thing, it's players are brought in and it's not necessarily the manager's choice. So I think, players coming into Everton now will be the manager's choice. And I think, if that is allowed to happen, and it will happen, I think the future's bright.
Brilliant, Shabby. Life treating you well, mate. You're looking well. Everything good?
I'm all right, pal. I'm all right. I'm just on the golf course now, so my handicap's coming down, Ali. So
Magic, mate. Magic. Great to see you. Take care. Hopefully catch you up soon, mate. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, mate.
Cheers, guys. Thanks very much.
Top man.
Love that. Still to come this morning on breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Doing what matters for the trade. Find your local branch at travisperkins.co.uk.
Okay, with 11 Arsenal players pulling out of international duty, Gavy's ready to call out the injury exodus. Is this a genuine crisis or a tactical masterclass from Arteta? I know what one I'm plumping for. And Spurs fans, you want to hear from you. Who should take the reins after Igor Tudor's 44-day tenure? Nick, the Spurs fans want a reunion with Big Ange?
Well, I think there's only one name. They've got to unite their fans. They've got to get respect from the group. And they've got to go in and hit the ground running. And that means they have to know the group. And if you look at it at those 3 points, it has to be Ange Postecoglou.
Ali.
Yes?
Spurs last game of the season at home. Guess who against?
Don't tell me it's West Ham.
Everton. He'll be fighting for European positions. This is the problem, isn't it, Ali?
Oh, man.
Everyone's fighting for something.
Well, that's great. That's the beauty of the league, mate. Yep. Absolute beauty of the league. Give us a call right now, 03717 22 3344. That was our breakfast preview with Travis Perkins.
It's just who we are, mate.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Bricks on bricks on bricks. Over 40 million available to order with delivery to site. That's one less thing to worry about.
With Mo Salah leaving, a lot of commentators have talked about the fact there's a lack of icons in the Premier League. Obviously, last year we had De Bruyne leave. You've had, over the course of the last few years, you've had Ronaldo back fleetingly. You've had Ibrahimovic here fleetingly. But the big boys don't come to the Premier League, do they? I mean, Haaland is probably the only global icon that is still there. Would that be fair? I mean, Son's not there anymore. De Bruyne's not there anymore. Salah's going. Kane, Ronaldo, Zlatan, all gone. Mbappe, Vinicius, Bellingham, Messi, Neymar. They would rather play elsewhere. Why?
That's a very good question. I don't think there's as many superstars today as the kind of has been in the past. Obviously, Messi, Ronaldo were the two superstars, and no one could get anywhere near them. And that doesn't mean to say that others like Neymar and Luis Suarez weren't. What I would say is, I think Real Madrid's, whatever you say about Manchester United, even when they're at their pomp, that I think are the biggest club in the world, the most attractive club in the world. You could argue maybe even Madrid in terms of just living there as well, I think is incredible. Barcelona too. You think about that Barcelona team of Messi, Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, Puyol, just absolutely sensational. And you look at Real Madrid now, Vinny Jr., Mbappe, Bellingham. Who else have I missed? I think the general ones, they've always had the very, very top ones, have probably gone to...
From the Toffees to the Tractor Boys, the Eagles to the Seagulls, Gunners, Bees, Hammers and Magpies, Premier League teams have got a load of crazy nicknames. Ever wondered where they came from? Let's start with Everton. They're dubbed the Toffees, but why? Well, because when the club was formed, just down the road there were two local toffee shops. Ye Ancient Everton Toffee House and Mother Noblet's Toffee Shop were big fan favourites. Next, they say if you can't beat 'em, join 'em, and that's exactly what Ipswich Town did when it came to their nickname. The term Tractor Boys used to be chanted by their opponents as a way of putting the team down for their farming background. But during one game back in the late 90s, Ipswich were 1-0 up and they decided to flip the script. 1-0 to the Tractor Boys, they sang, and a new nickname was born. Let's head to Leicester, famous for more than just a red, orangey cheese and Jamie Vardy. Leicestershire is also the birthplace of fox hunting, hence the Foxes. Next up, turns out apples are not the only fruit that don't fall far from the tree. Bournemouth's nickname, the Cherries, comes from the fact the club's stadium was originally built right next to a bunch of cherry orchards. This next story actually involves two club nicknames. It started with Crystal Palace. They were having an absolute nightmare run back in the early 70s. They'd been relegated after a terrible spell, and manager Malcolm Allison decided enough was enough. He wanted a new nickname, something strong, fast and destined for success. Something exactly like an eagle. But there's more to this one. Brighton were in search of a nickname too, and Palace finally gave them what they needed. In a heated match between the two back in 1976, Palace fans began chanting, "Eagles, Eagles." And some clever Brighton fans came up with the perfect reply, "Seagulls, Seagulls." Not all club nicknames have a crazy story though. Take the Gunners. That just comes from the fact a group of munitions workers in the Royal Arsenal factory in Woolwich set up the club in 1886. On the flip side, some nicknames seem simple, but there's a bit more to them, like West Ham. The Hammers is actually nothing to do with the ham part of the name. It comes from the fact the club used to be called Thames Ironworks FC and was made up of workmen and shipbuilders. So next time the away end's chanting their crazy nickname, you'll now know exactly where it came from.
Okay, guys, it is 4 minutes past 8 this Monday, the 30th of March. Beautiful morning up here. Absolutely beautiful. How is it with you, Gab?
Yes, lovely, mate. Blue skies, Ali.
Can't beat it. What a difference, mate, doesn't it?
So we don't ask so much, do we, Ali?
No, we don't ask for much. We actually ask for even less up here. We just don't want any rain.
Yeah. No rain and happy days.
Happy
days.
days.
Blue skies. Doesn't have to be warm.
See
that will do.
Correct. See that wee walk in the morning from the hotel over to the offices. See, as long as it's dry and there's a bit of light. What a difference.
Spot on, mate.
We do not ask for a lot, mate. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Browse the UK's best used car deals and score your dream car today. Check out the website for more details. Now, Ally and Gabby are with you this morning, and I'll tell you what we've got for you this morning. We're going to be asking what's next for Tiger Woods. Tiger's a bit of a nightmare. What's happened next for him on and off the golf course following another personal crisis Friday night? It's a real shame. British heavyweight Dave Allen joins for more to how the roadmap looks for Moses Ituma, as well as reflecting on a big announcement for his next fight. And Arsenal fans, get those phones at the ready, because Gabby's ready to absolutely pulverise you lot once again for pulling so many players out of international duty. All that and more to come, but now it's been a sorry season so far for the Spurs.
Manager. One thing is 100% sure. We will lose football matches.
Spurs haven't been able to hold on. 2-0 up with 5 to go.
It's Arsenal 4, Tottenham 1. Eberici Eze, he could have signed for Spurs, remember, but he's a hat-trick hero for Arsenal.
It is silly. I don't know what else worse you could have done to be holding an Arsenal cup.
Thomas Frank has been sacked by Tottenham Hotspur.
Spurs have confirmed the appointment of Igor Tudor as men's head coach.
3 minutes to go. Spurs 0, Forest 3.
We're in a relegation fight, and what do? Nothing.
Igor Tudor is no longer the manager of Tottenham Hotspur.
I think there's a very real chance they will go down. You can't trust them to win a game.
Well, Spurs fans are going to get in touch over the weekend with their thoughts following the news of Igor Tudor's mutual agreement to part with the club. One of those is Nick, who has given us his suggestion for who they should appoint next.
I think if it was based on pros like yourself, or sort of what we would consider old pros, old English pros, for some reason, I just don't think someone like a Van der Ven, a Romero, a Vicario, these sort of players are going to be the sorts of guys that react to a manager like Redknapp.
Who would you think then?
Well, I think there's only one name. I don't know if it's that popular, but look, this is the criteria. They've got to unite their fans. They've got to get respect from the group. And they've got to go in and hit the ground running. And that means that they have to know the group. And if you look at it at those 3 points, it has to be Ange Postecoglou.
Oh. Right, it's not happening, right, Gab? We accept that. However, before you and I to delve into the problems that Spurs have had, I don't care what MD says. I still think it was a mistake to sack him.
Agreed.
As I mean, And I know some of the Spurs fans will come in and say he had to go, third bottom, fourth bottom, whatever it was. I think it was 6th,
He sacrificed games, though, didn't he?
Absolutely. And he actually gets you into the Champions League.
Exactly.
He wins something that you haven't done, I don't think, since whatever it was, 2008. It might have been League Cup, whatever it was, I can't remember. And then you get rid of him, and it's been an absolute disaster. Disaster since.
Disaster, Ali. Ali, what's hilarious, and we said it earlier on in the show, when Spurs finally named their new manager, they will have had more managers this season than home league wins since the start of May last year.
You're winding me up.
Nope.
Give me that again.
When Spurs named their new manager, they will have had more managers this season than home league wins since May last year. Winless in 13 Premier League games, lost 10 home games in the league, Ali. 54 home defeats, Ali, since April 2019 when they moved into the new stadium in all comps. But, Ali, let me just read something out for you, mate. This sums Spurs up right. Sack the manager who won your first trophy in nearly 20 years. Lost Maddison for the season. Lost the Super Cup on penalties from 2-0 up in the 85th minute. Top transfer target Eze chooses their arch rivals who went on to score 5 goals against you. Team was booed off as early as August. Daniel Levy stepped down, so the fans thought they'd win the league. Their manager drank from a cup with their arch rivals logo on. Romero having not 1, not 2, but 3 public outbursts. Meanwhile, Van der Ven offered out an away fan. Appointed a bloke called Tudor, who has never managed in England, suffered 6 successive league defeats for the first time in club's history. Macclesfield have beaten more Premier League teams than Spurs in 2026. Subbed in a keeper, only to sub him off after 17 minutes. Must-win game. They cancelled a protest for a victory parade, and you get beat 3-0 by Nottingham Forest. Reappointed Fabio Paratici, then moved on after 4 months and signed more players from Fiorentina in those 4 months than he did for Tottenham. Victims, Ali, of 20% of Nottingham Forest's Premier League goals.
It's incredible, mate. I mean...
Dear Lord.
Do you know the best thing, Gab? I promise you. You mentioned it right at the start, and I was at both games. You mentioned the game against PSG in the Super Cup, right? Yeah. And then it might have been a week, 10 days, I can't remember. They were brilliant at the Etihad against Manchester City.
Yep.
I mean, brilliant. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, they were well ahead against PSG, and then obviously come back and lost that game. But I'm thinking that level of performance, very impressive. And then I thought equally against City, and I'm thinking maybe they just turned a corner here, maybe. But the decline and the drop in standards has been, I just think it's been absolutely incredible to watch. It really, really has. The confidence has completely been drained out the side. Now, I mentioned to you before, the Liverpool game away aside, and probably the home game against Atletico Madrid, where you would argue the tie was finished. Apart from those 2 games, 1 or 2 players aside, I would absolutely exclude Archie Gray.
Yes.
100% I would. But the rest of them...
Disgrace.
They don't look as though they're up for a fight.
No.
And I'm hearing Van de Ven coming on and saying, oh, you better believe we are. We're up
Show
for
us.
This. Show us.
You play Forest, biggest rivals,
yeah.
Must not lose. The fans are outside creating an atmosphere. They're smoking outside, Ali. It's as if, like, you win the game and you get Champions League football, or you win the league. That's what the atmosphere was like before the game. It's a relegation battle. You lose 3-0. The tactics of the manager.
Because when we go there, we go to Tottenham and we always have a bit of crack with the fans. One of the shows we do in the morning with TNT, we have a bit of crack with the fans before the game, and they're brilliant. I mean, they love their football, but it's as if there's a kind of resignation. You know what I mean? It's as if this is where we are. You know, and it doesn't look as though we're going to get out. You know, there's a kind of, I don't know, kind of sadness about the place.
And the problem is, Ali, with these group of players, right, their next 7 games, right, Sunderland away, we know what their record's like at the Stadium of Light.
Yeah.
Pressure's off Sunderland. They can relax. Just went and beat Newcastle at their place. So that's going to be a tough game. After that, Ali, Brighton at home. What are Brighton fighting for? European places. Something on that game. Wolves away is next. You've seen what Wolves have done in the last 6-7 games. They've picked up. They've got nothing to lose.
Arsenal beat Liverpool. Absolutely.
They're fighting for pride as well. Nothing to lose. Tough game. Then you've got Aston Villa away, fighting for Champions League places. All to play for in that game for Aston Villa. After that, you've got Leeds at home. Relegation battle. They'll still be in it. Leeds are going to be coming to the Spurs Stadium thinking we have to get something out of this game. Then you've got Chelsea away, where we know they lose to Chelsea. That's no question, especially away from home. And Chelsea fighting for Champions League positions. Last game of the season, Everton at home. Everton will be fighting for European football as well. So every game has got something on it.
Gav, I'm looking at it right now, right? And I keep saying, 5-6 weeks ago, I'm saying to myself, Spurs are in trouble, but I'm not really believing it.
Exactly.
I'm now at the stage, I think they're favourites to go down.
100%.
Along with the other 2, obviously. But, you know, in terms of the ones that are fighting for the second and
West Ham play Wolves, don't they, on a Friday night? And then it's Spurs away to Sunderland. So by the time they kick off, they could be in the bottom 3.
Cool.
Maybe they even crumble even more, Ali, when they're in the relegation zone.
I know, mate.
I feel Nottingham Forest have got favourable games left. I think Forest will be out of it.
They look as though they've got something.
Yes,
you know
they
I mean?
have. Yep.
I mean, particularly in recent weeks, they look at something about them. It was interesting. Funnily enough, their ex-manager was on at the weekend. He was on with Johnny. I was listening to it. It was a brilliant show. And Deitch was in talkSPORT, as I said, on Saturday. And he was asked whether he's been approached. Here was his very light-hearted response.
According to social media, obviously you were in London last night.
Brilliant.
Talking to Spurs.
That was brilliant. Honestly, I was in the pub just up the way, near my place I've got down there. And this guy goes, "Oh, you meant to be in talks with Spurs tonight." And well, I'm standing next to you having a pint of Guinness. So I said, "It's unlikely." I said, "Unless you work for Spurs and they're in the Seven Stars pub having a pint of Guinness." I said, "It's highly unlikely." "No, I'm not. I'm with you, mate, and I'm on talkSPORT. That's what I'm doing."
And it's a perfect way to start your talkSPORT career with a couple of pints of Guinness, Dicey. Let me say to you, you will fit in perfectly, Dicey, at talkSPORT if you enjoy a couple of pints of Guinness. Brilliant. Listen, we're going to take a short break. I think we've got Coral coming next.
Join us now to look ahead to all British heavyweight boxer Dillian Whyte. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Dillian.
Good morning, good morning. How's everything been? Good?
Yeah, good, mum.
Yeah, really, really good. You gutted for the Welsh last night for no reason whatsoever? Or is it just Gabby who's hammering them?
I have no comment.
Dillian, what are you thinking about this fight then? You fought both fighters, Ituma and Franklin. What are you expecting from Franklin in this fight?
I think it's a good fight. It depends on what Franklin turns up because, you know, he can turn up and put on a good show and be a really good fighter. Sometimes he can turn up and be a little bit of a stinker, you know. Obviously, he's coming off a loss in his last fight. But I think that's made him hungrier for this fight. And now, obviously, we look at Mosley thinking, if I beat Mosley, I get one up on Dillian because Dillian beat me and Mosley beat Dillian. So I think he's got double motivation. So, yeah. Okay, Monday, March the 30th, 8:18. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ally and Gabby with you this morning, the latest episode of 21 Minutes to Go, the podcast with Andy. And Jason is out now. This week, Goldstein recounts a honeymoon massage that went south. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's been written right. Right. I mean, you can't be saying a massage goes south. Right. You can say it doesn't go too well. Right, but going south is a completely wrong thing to say. The saga of Cundy's missing exam results continues, plus a philosophical debate that will change how you look at farmyard animals.
Do you reckon chicken would eat an egg?
Yeah, it would. 100% it would.
Do you think that's weird?
Eating its baby?
Well, I don't know if it's his. Do you think a chicken would have some chicken?
I reckon chicken would eat chicken. Pigs eat pigs.
How do you... How do you know? You said that with such conviction.
Well, pigs do eat pigs.
How do you know that?
I've seen it. I've seen it on a documentary. Pigs don't care, do they? Bones, eyes.
Go back. What was the documentary called where pigs were eating pigs?
It's called The Pig Eater. Pigs eat pigs.
Interesting, yeah.
Yes.
That'll get me tuned into that. So if you get 21 minutes to spare, go and check out the podcast. That's 20 minutes to go with Goldstein and Cundy available on your favourite podcast provider. OK, it's now time to get the latest odds with Coral and Simon Clare.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Simon, a very, very good morning to you. How are you this morning? How was your weekend, my friend?
I'm still chuckling at the massage going south. I can't.
No wonder. I mean, it's the script is written in front of me, Simon,
exactly.
and I'm reading it. I'm saying I cannot believe somebody's writing this.
A very frustrated producer, clearly. But anyway,
how are you, mate? How was your weekend, my friend?
It was good. It was sort of relatively quiet, wasn't it? But the racing was good. Doncaster, the flat was back at Donny, so I watched a bit of the flat action there, and. But the Grand Prix, I suppose, was quite exciting, even if it still ended up with the Mercedes winning. But I think the racing's exciting, isn't it, Gabby?
Very exciting, mate. Leclerc was good as well, wasn't he? And Russell, yeah.
They're not happy. I mean, generally speaking, there are one or two discontented murmurs about the car and the new format. I mean, clearly, Verstappen's not happy. Yes. And I'm guessing, now, I know you won't have it in front of you, but I'll bet you he's probably drifted to odds that you can only imagine.
He's a huge price, yeah. I mean, I think he's about sort of 50-1. He's well out of the record at the moment. I mean, to be honest, despite the fact that the racing is exciting, the betting suggests it's already looking quite one-sided because George Russell is even money to be the world champion, and Antonelli's 11-10, and we can hardly split them. It's then 12 Leclerc and 20 to 1 is Piastri. He obviously came.
I feel as well, Simon. The weekend, the safety car killed Russell.
Yeah,
and you could hear him say it on his mic because he helped Antonelli, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So look, I think we're in for a more exciting race. I think we hope, Gabby, Ali, that some of the teams just get that little bit closer to Mercedes and we see a little bit more volatility. Because it's just funny. It's about how much they change the rules. It always feels like one team suddenly gets an edge. It's quite hard to relinquish it. But anyway, good fun.
Red Bull ain't happy, that's for sure. No major surprise news at the weekend. Obviously, there's been terrible sadness, and obviously sympathies and thoughts go to Igor Tudor, obviously with what's happened with the family. But no major surprise. Tottenham him parting ways. Simon, what about the odds for the next manager? Have you got a price list for us?
We've opened betting. I mean, look, firstly, you were chatting about the relegation odds, and at the moment, the way it's in, it's even money West Ham to go down, 11-8 Spurs, so not much between them, and 5-1 Forest, 6-1 Leeds, who are still not safe by any stretch of the imagination. But I think we're almost saying still at the moment, West Ham that little bit more likely to go down. In terms of the betting, we're betting now on who's going to, because it's so hard with these interims, they could just literally reach left field, right field. We're betting on who's going to be in charge of Spurs at the start of next season, which of course, to some extent, is risky because somebody could come in, try and keep them up, lose their job, and it could be someone entirely different come next August, But so we're betting 4-5 Roberto De Zerbi is the favourite, 4-1 Adi Hutter, who I don't really know much about. I think he was Monaco's ex-manager. Sean Dyche, who's hopefully still not drinking pints with that pal in the pub, is 5-1. Pochettino, 6-1. Now, obviously, he could manage USA at the World Cup and then be available start next season. There were 8-1 Marcus Silva's doing a great job at Fulham, 10-1 Robbie Keane, and 20-1 Harry Redknapp. And I don't know, obviously, Ali, you missed Cheltenham, but were you there, Gabby, when Harry was in there, saying that Daniel Levy had actually called him a few weeks prior, saying, Harry, if I was there still now, I'd have called you up. And I mean, it's hard to believe had Harry been there 44 days ago, he wouldn't have somehow galvanised that team a bit better.
100%. And his whole body language at Cheltenham, Harry was like, he wants it.
Passionate.
Do you know what I mean, Simon? And Ali, he wants it, and he would love to be that hero that keeps his club that he loves in the Premier League.
I just don't think you can underestimate the effect that something like that has on the whole club. You know, because let's be honest about it, Igor Tudor, I mean, the Spurs fans weren't saying, wow, this is great, what a chance we've got, right? But when somebody can unite the entire club, the staff within the club, indeed the supporters, that gives you a chance, it gives you an opportunity. It doesn't guarantee it, Simon, of course it doesn't, Gabby, but it gives you an opportunity.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall, though, in these board meetings and when they choose these managers. Like, what are your reasons? Can someone explain?
But you can sort of imagine. They thought they were almost doing a Tony Bloom type thing, saying we found a manager who's got an amazing record in another country of rescuing sides.
Exactly.
But I mean, literally, it's like some totally illogical that you drop a guy into a totally different league and expect him to work that magic.
Exactly.
But I think, and you're ex-professional football players. Sometimes what you need is just someone to give some sort of Churchillian type motivated speech and send you out there. And the one thing, as we said, every time you hear, and you're right, Gabby, Harry is not a young man, but as soon as you get on the subject of Spurs or racing, but Spurs, the passion and he really, really cares, doesn't he, Gabby? And
that's what those players need.
If you have that in your change
put an arm around them. That's the problem with De Zerbi coming in now because he's hard as well. He's a bit savage, isn't he? The way he speaks to his players. Yeah. Some of these Spurs players are soft. They're not going to be able to handle it.
I know.
Simon, it'd be great. Actually, just joking about, wouldn't it be fantastic if Harry did come back? I don't think it's going to happen.
I'd love it.
Unreal.
And he's 20-1 in the betting anyway.
I'd love it, Simon. Something like Chris Houghton, something like that, and even Glenn. I just think it's a kind of obvious thing. I really, really do, because it's going to take some, because they are in the mire. It's going to take something like that. Simon, I've got a couple of the friendlies. There wasn't a lot of drama at Wembley. There certainly wasn't a lot of drama at Hampden for those two games. What about England versus Japan, Scotland versus Ivory Coast? I described these games, Simon, as necessary evils.
Yes, I think you're right. I mean, it's hard to know. I mean, look, England are 4-7 to beat Japan, but we've seen various players heading back to their clubs. Quite a few Arsenal players. 3-1 the draw. Japan 5-1. This won't be easy. We saw against Uruguay. It's not the same intensity of a match that means something. So you wouldn't be lumping on England at 4-7. No. And Scotland's a tough game. Ivory Coast are actually favourites at 5-4.
Yeah.
The draw's 9-4. Scotland 9-4. Obviously booing. I mean, Steve Clarke totally right. I mean, why would you be booing Scotland heading into a qualify for a World Cup?
I know, mate.
Incredible.
You two should know we are a hard lot. We're a hard lot to please. Simon, I don't expect you have it in front of you, but there was a lovely story in the build-up to the Masters. I don't know if you've got Masters prices in front of you, but it was a lovely, lovely story with Gary Woodland, who I think had a brain operation. He certainly and he managed to come back and win the Houston Open. A beautiful wee story, lovely. Yes. One of these lovely stories that sport throws up, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, God, yeah. No, and the emotion he showed. I mean, it's funny if I didn't watch the tournament, but I was watching it on social media. Right? You're absolutely right. I mean, the Masters betting we've got a couple of weeks to go.
Yeah.
Scottish Scheffler's 9-2 favourites, then 10s, McIlroy and DeChambeau. Is Gary Woodland, will he be there?
I think that was his plan. That was his plan.
Yeah.
So I mean,
he looked at. He's a big prize.
Whether he's there or not, it's a remarkable story. And what a comeback,
guys! Not good from Tiger either.
God,
the weekend. What's wrong with him? Honestly,
the soap opera that is Tiger Woods is just extraordinary, really, isn't it? I mean, he's right. I mean, it's right. I say the film of his life will be an extraordinary account.
Award-winning.
Because we remember when he was literally 6-4 favourite for like Masters and Opens. I mean, no one's ever come close to that since, and probably never will. His domination of golf, and then just suddenly he fell off the pedestal with the car accident and all the the things about his private life, and And I say ever since then, it's sort of almost painful watching, and certainly obviously painful for Tiger. But anyway, it's a good speech. Just one thing, actually, worth tuning into Germany, Ghana. I'm not sure where we can watch this day, but Ghana are obviously England opponents.
Yes.
We pretty much know everything about Croatia. We played them so often. Yeah. Panama shouldn't be too tricky, but Ghana we know less about, although they were thumped 5-1 by Austria during the week, and they're 10-1 to beat a German side who are on a good winning run. But they're playing tonight.
Every time I say to Ali that I've got plans to fly out for the semi-final, he seems to get quite angry about it. We should be expecting to get to the semis at least, shouldn't we, Simon?
I'm not expecting anything. Funny if I was thinking though, I've been sort of putting a lot of work into my garden. I thought I might throw a garden party for the final, having no idea who's going to be in the final. Sunday the 19th of July, bit of a bash, could be England playing.
Yes,
Simon, and I'm not finishing a serious note. What price you give me Agbonlahor to play Tiger in the movie?
Do you know what? I've heard his acting lines. He's very good.
I'd love to, Ali. Be an honour.
I'm just thinking the off-course activities may be second nature to him.
Well, from one great actor, with Hollywood mates, you can.
Simon, brilliant to see you, mate. You have a great
Top man,
week.
Simon.
Thanks for joining us this morning. That was a look at the latest odds with Coro. 18 plus, gambleaware.org. Now, coming up, Gabby's ready. He's getting warming up. He's ready to get ripped into Mikel Arteta and Arsenal following an entire team of international call-offs. Plus, find out what percentage of people want VAR gone. There's one up here.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Former Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp has broken his silence on Mo Salah's impending departure from the Reds. Here he is talking to the Anfield Wrap about the legacy that Salah will leave behind.
Unbelievable goal. So he was part of the best front three in world football for a long time and was the one who always had the highest numbers. So that says something. That really says something. It's not easy to be slightly above the other two guys, and they have all their specific skills. But Mo was the one for the last situation. He wanted to have that more than anybody. So Sadio was a mix of both. Like, yes, he wanted to score goals, but he could have played midfield even. So that's his skill set. Bobby was the genius who didn't care about anything and could play absolutely everything. And Mo was the one who was really always the goal in his mind. And you cannot train that, and I don't think you really can learn it. It's inside, and he has that, and he will have that until the last day of his life. I'm pretty sure that's why it was the challenge, because if you want to rotate or whatever, and you take him off after 87 minutes, you could see in his face he saw I could have scored 3 in the last 5.
Amen Corner, perhaps the most feared run of holes in golf. Each year it claims the tournament hopes of many, with balls hitting bunkers and water traps aplenty. But why is it so fearsome, and where did it get its name? Just the thoughts of holes 11, 12 and 13 at Augusta National gives the likes of Rory McIlroy and Jordan Spieth the shivers. McIlroy hit 3 over and Spieth hit 4 over in their final rounds to blow their hopes of a green jacket in 2011 and 2016 respectively. But did you know Amen Corner's name is inspired by a jazz song from 1933? American sports writer Herbert Warren Wint, on the left here, wrote about it in 1958, referencing the song shouted in that Amen Corner when describing the run. Hole 11 is a par 4 over 520 yards with a green guarded by a pond and bunkers to the front edge. 12, perhaps golf's most famous hole, is a par 3 over just 155 yards. The green's guarded by Rays Creek at the front, more bunkers and azalea bushes ready to punish the smallest error. Then there's the 13th that teases the hook shot over the trees. It's a dogleg par 5 over 545 yards that's inviting for big hitters who want to reach the green in 2. If you want to win the Masters, you have to keep your score down around Amen Corner. So who'll be the next to fall victim to golf's most famous and most daunting challenge?
Okay, it's Monday the 30th of March. It's 8:34. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. There is over 20,000 used cars online to choose to recall, giving his reaction.
Hi there, weekend host and occasional sports reader Ben Fletcher here, just reacting to the news that Jermaine Defoe has picked my club Woking over Tottenham Hotspur to start his managerial career. Very, very interesting, but not entirely surprising really, given that Woking's got a more atmospheric stadium. It's in a nicer part of the country to live, not far from the Surrey Hills, lots of lovely green little lanes, really impressive town centre actually. So unlucky Tottenham fans, Jermaine won't be able to come to help, but I'm looking forward to seeing how he gets on in propelling the mighty Cards into the Football League. Go on you Cards!
Yep, spot on, Fletch. He's headed to Woking for the lovely green little lanes. Right?
I'm happy for him though, Ali.
So
I'm happy for him because, you know, he was disappointed that maybe he didn't get involved more at Spurs. But
yeah,
go and learn your trade.
100%.
I mean, make your way up then, don't you, Ali?
He's a great guy. We wish him well, for sure. OK, mate, England will continue the World Cup preparations tomorrow as they take on Japan at Wembley, which you can hear once again right here on talkSPORT. However, despite crucial preparation time, a number of players have decided to pull out of their various international duties, and a lot of these players come from Arsenal. The Gunners can field an entire outfield team of players who have reported injured and have therefore returned to Arsenal. They include Gabby, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Nkepaye, Eze, Zubamendi, Rice, Madueke, Saka, Trossard. Right. Now, Gabby, I've got a feeling you've got something to say on the matter, yeah?
Do you know what, Ali? Just from experience, first of all, before I go into it, like, I pulled out of a lot of squads as a player. Some because of managers, maybe, like you know, we've got big games coming up and blah, 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 and pull out. And I regret it, Ali. Yeah. I really regret it. I would have had a lot more caps than 3. I would have got to, like, maybe 4 caps. No, I'm joking. But I would have got a lot more caps if I if I didn't pull out so many squads. And I think this is something that Harry Kane should speak out about, England captain. Because everyone was on the weekend saying, yeah, you know, Ben White deserved to get booed. He got booed when he come on. Well, he's the only Arsenal player still away with the England squad. And I look at players like Madueke, no problem. You pulled out, you got injured against Uruguay. It was quite a hard tackle, no problem. I look at players like Timber, Eze, Odegaard, pulled out because they didn't play against Manchester City, Ali. No problem. Those 4 players, no problem with it. But Hincapie, Rice, Saka, Gabriel, Saliba, Trossard, Zubamendi had no problems during that game against Manchester City. And I just don't think it's right, Ali. I feel that if I was part of the Premier League and I'd make a decision, I'd bring in a new rule. You miss the next league game available if you pull out of international duty. And I'll tell you something, Ali, players would stop pulling out. Playing for your country, like you know more than anyone, Ali, is an honour.
Yes.
If I'm Harry Kane, I'm speaking about this and saying, come on, guys, let's not go back to what we done 4 or 5 years ago, where players are pulling out non-stop. I get it. Arteta's doing everything possible to win these trophies he wants to win. Their next game, Ali, after international break, I'm sure it's the FA Cup against Southampton.
Yeah.
I'm just not keen on players pulling out of international duty.
No.
It's an honour to play for your country. I doesn't sit right with me, mate.
No, you're right. The bottom line, it's not up for debate. You're right, because you are factually correct in everything you say. Playing for your country should be and should continue to be the pinnacle and the greatest honour you can get, right?
I don't think it is for some players.
No, well, in my opinion, it should be, right? Because it was for me, and I bet it was for you and thousands of other, you know, English, Welsh, Scottish, and Irish, Northern Irish internationalists, right? I do have a certain degree of sympathy, where I think, you know, back in the day, I know there was always contact between club managers and the Scotland manager. You know, whether the Scotland manager at the time was Craig Brown and it was Walter Smith dealing with them, or indeed Walter was manager of the Scotland team and myself and Tommy were assisting him. There was always dialogue, right?
Yes.
And so there should be. So, for example, if the Celtic manager, the Rangers manager had big European games coming up and they were concerned, they would phone the Scotland manager and say, OK, whether it's Paul McStay or Maurice Johnston or Richard Gough, look, can you look after them, you know, in the respect, particularly if it's a friendly. Now, This is the key issue for me. I've called these games necessary evils, and they are, because you have to have them. But there'll be 70% of your squad, maybe even 75% of your squad, you know that you're taken to the World Cup, and they do not want to get injured, either for the World Cup or for their clubs. So you've got to kind of, you're if not walking in eggshells, you've got to be very, very careful, because it's your job as the international manager to look after the international team, but at the same time, you like to kind of help the clubs if you can.
Do you see what I look at it though, Ali? I get exactly what you're saying, but what I started to find out my last few years at Aston Villa, training was like games. It wasn't like it was maybe when under Martin O'Neill, where it was like maybe not as intense. Sometimes, Ali, during these international breaks, for instance, Aston Villa, they're playing friendlies in Spain. They've gone there, the players.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel that, like, you could get into new training. You know, these friendlies, like I just don't understand it. Like, how can Arteta just say to his players, listen, you pull out, you pull out, you pull out, you pull out, you pull out? It just doesn't sit right with me. If I'm Thomas Tuchel, I'm like, hang on a second. Saka, Rice, you know, you're
I would be staggered, Gab.
Yeah, you're leaving, but I've left you out the first squad to give you some rest. I'm bringing you into the second squad now for the Japan game, and you pulled out.
I would be staggered if there hadn't been any dialogue between Thomas Tuchel and Mikel Arteta. I think there has to be. I mean, I might be wrong. Maybe they haven't, but there has to be a healthy correspondence between the managers and indeed the national manager. Now, I keep saying it, there's a thin line, because the national manager effectively...
What if every team done it then? What if every team says, okay, Everton, all right, I don't want my players to go because we're fighting for Europe. Aston Villa, Rodgers and Conte don't need to go. Unai just want you to go because you're fighting in Europa League and you're fighting for top 5.
Yeah.
Then what? There's no players available for your country.
I take your point. Of course I take your point. Yeah. But let's go to another extreme. Somebody like, and you mentioned it, somebody like Declan Rice, for example.
Yes.
Right, Declan Rice will play in the England team in the World Cup. That there's no doubt. And yes, he should be in and around the squad. I get all that. But is it a necessity for Thomas Tuchel to play him in those games, whether it's Uruguay or Japan, whatever it may be? Probably not, because he's got other people to look at. So in that respect, I can understand him kind of looking after one or two players.
Yeah.
They're not all like that.
Hincapia.
Yes.
Gabriel didn't even go. Saliba didn't even go. Trossard, Zubamendi. I just feel like it's a bit of a mockery for so many players to pull out, Ali, when you already got Timber, Eze, Odegaard, Madueke pulled out. Just doesn't sit right with me, mate. That's all. I know how much it means to you and to a lot of people playing for their country.
What would totally back up your argument, would totally back up, if it was a World Cup game tomorrow, 99% of them wouldn't be calling off.
Exactly.
Okay, we've got a couple of calls, and the phone lines, as you can imagine, is going crazy. Somebody that has called 03717 223344 is Taylor, and Taylor is an Arsenal fan. Taylor, good morning, thanks for calling.
Good morning, Taylor.
What have you got to say, my friend? What do you think?
Morning. Yeah, I agree with Ali, to be fair. I don't really know what Gabby's issue is. I read something online. I don't know whether he said it, these days you don't know what you read online is true, but Roy Keane was saying he doesn't understand the issue. At all, because Fergie used to do it a lot, pull players out. Pep's done it as well. I think...
So what if everyone done it, mate? Taylor, what if everyone done it? Then you'd have no players available for international duty.
I know what you're saying. If everyone done it, you are quite right. But I don't think everyone is going to do it.
Why not?
It's a risk. Well, it's a risk versus reward basis, isn't it? At the end of the day, we are going for the Premier League title. We are still in the Champions League. The next game back after the international break, if I'm not mistaken, is an FA Cup quarter final as well. So we are still fighting on three fronts. And if you remember. Obviously, I remember because I'm an Arsenal fan, but Gabriel got injured in a friendly against Senegal that was played at the Emirates back in October. We then missed him for 3 games, and we dropped points away at Sunderland. We then dropped points away at Chelsea. We need our top players. We've been blamed for having players missing for the vital running in previous seasons.
Yeah, but maybe countries that are going to the World Cup need their best players.
Yeah, but right, it's friendlies. If I understand, if it was World Cup qualifiers, like what Ali's saying, if it was qualifiers or it was World Cup games, then they won't be pulling out. But at the end of the day, these are like it's just called them necessary evils. I completely agree. If it were up to me, I wouldn't even have these friendlies. Like the players have got enough time to warm up for the World Cup just by playing for their clubs. So it is a bit of a pointless international break. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm happy for it because it gives the players a necessary break from. We had games coming every 3 days for a number of weeks, so they kind of need a bit of a breather. But I'm glad they've been pulled out their squads. We've seen what's happened before when they've got injured, and I'm not being funny, Gabby, but I bet you would be the first one to say if Villa were still fighting for the league, because
we're fighting for a lot.
You were saying, we might win the league, we might be up there with City and Arsenal.
Taylor,
if they were still there now.
Great call. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to cut you short.
I would look at it and say, I want my players.
I really enjoyed it, mate. Thanks for taking the call. I've got to take another one. Kyle's giving us a call. Morning, Kyle.
Good morning, Kyle.
The floor is yours. On you go.
Is it me? Am I through now?
You're through, Kyle.
Through, Kyle. Let's go.
Right, good. Gabby is the most disingenuous presenter on talkSPORT. It's all about Teta. When Pepper's done it, Gabby didn't pipe up. When Segi did it in the past, Gabby didn't pipe up. But once it's like
how do you know?
Wait to get his box out.
How do you know I didn't complain?
I've never seen you have so much energy for players pulling out of international break, Gabby. You just can't wait to lay into it.
No, just does it. Listen, Kyle, it doesn't sit right with me, mate. It's the biggest honour to play for your country.
If Arteta should bottle it this season. So as an Arsenal fan, I'm supporting Arteta all the way. Go for it, Arteta. Do what you want.
Kyle, you've got no problem with players not wanting to play for their country. Players can get injured in training.
They actually want to play for their country.
You sure?
This is a decision that's been made. Are you thinking Thomas Tuchel is that weak that's going to get bullied by Arteta? Come on, give it a rest, Gabby.
Well, okay.
Arteta doesn't have the crowd to bully Thomas Tuchel.
Okay, Hincapié, Rice, Saka, Gabriel, Saliba, Trossard, Zubamendi.
What's the coincidence? Okay, think about what you're saying. You're suggesting that there's shenanigans going on.
Of course.
Think about it.
The players aren't injured.
And you have the cheek to turn around and say Arsenal fans push a conspiracy. You're pushing a conspiracy, saying that the FA, because think about it, for the England players to be able to pull out, the FA will need to approve it, the coaching staff will need to approve it.
You sure?
So
no, it doesn't work like that. No. It doesn't work like that. Trust me, I've been there. If the club want to pull a player out, the club decides, not the England and the FA.
They went to join up with their teams.
If I'm Harry Kane, Kyle, if I'm Harry Kane...
When you think Barcelona feel about Rafinha now, in hindsight, they probably wish they pulled him out. Yeah. So let's be fair here, okay? It's probably the wrong time of the season. If Arteta pulled out the players from the World Cup in 2022, which was right in the middle of the season, then you could have to go at Arteta. But at this point, if any players are carrying niggles, it's not precautionary.
But there's not niggles, though. There's not niggles. He's thinking, okay, these are my 11-star players. I don't want them away with international duty. But if I'm the England captain, I'm calling these players out. This is the best part of your career, is playing for your country, the biggest honour, and you're leaving. Doesn't sit right with me, Mr. McCoist.
Agreed. No.
Well, stop laughing at me then, Ali.
I'm not. I'm laughing at Kyle coming up with you with both barrels. I thoroughly enjoyed that. But I tell you what he did let himself down, Kyle. He accused you, actually, of not piping up sometimes. I think you... I
always do.
The one thing you do, you always pipe up.
He wants me to pipe up at Sir Alex Ferguson, Ali. I was still playing then. But, Ali, jokes aside, though, I just think when there's so many... from one team pull out. I get it. Selfishly, you want to go and win all these trophies now. Yeah. Didn't turn up against Man City. You're looking at the Southampton game and thinking, want everyone fit and available. But I'm looking as a player who play for their country. It's not a good look, mate. It's really not.
Absolutely. It's the greatest honour. I don't care what this is. Still the greatest honour. Keep the calls coming in, Arsenal fans. We'll take a short break.
talking all things Harry Maguire. John is a Man United fan. Jonathan?
How are you doing? You okay?
I'm great. Very well, man. How are you today?
Yeah, very good. Very good. Thank you.
What's that noise? Have you just opened your wallet?
No, you have to excuse me. It's the police going past in Hereford, which means there's probably a cat stuck in a tree somewhere.
Okay. Well, just be careful.
Oh, yeah, I'm being safe, mate. Hands free and all that.
Good, good. Go on, off you go.
Yeah, talking about Harry Maguire. So, I'm a United fan. Has he let the club down on numerous occasions? Yes, he's a bit of a Marmite player. But with regards to England, I can't think of a time he's ever actually let England down.
Yeah, good.
Every time he's put an England shirt on, he's always done a job.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest thing.
Would you start him for England?
I'd start him for England, yeah.
You would?
For his experience, for his age, yeah. I think he's a solid centre back. He, like I said, never let him down.
Are you pleased that he's signing? Are you pleased he's signing another year at United?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. He brings a lot of, you've seen him over the last few months playing under Carrick. He's brought a lot more composure to that back line. And yeah, all round, I think I've been a critic of him. Like I said, being a United fan, we've had some ups and downs with him.
No, you know, with the England thing about letting people down, I can understand that, right? But he hasn't been in England for a little while now.
No.
And Konsa and Gahey look good. That's
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Benchmarks Kitchens and Joinery. Get trade prices on kitchens to suit all styles and budgets at Benchmarks.
Okay, Monday 30th March, just coming up, 8:53. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. There's plenty to come over the next hour and a half or so. Gabby sent Arsenal fans into meltdown, loved it over international call-offs. We'll get Adrian Durham's view at 9. I'm be interested to see or hear whether Adrian agrees with that, Gabby.
I think he'll agree, 100%.
I think he might, you know.
Yeah. Ali,
but
I just think that rule that I says would be perfect. If you pull out of international duty, you cannot play the next available league game. And I'll tell you something, Ali, they all wouldn't pull out, would they?
No, you're right, but at the same time, you know the game well enough. There are guys that would get a knock that would keep them out for 10 days. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's so definitely, Ali. All the players that are pulled out will be available for the Southampton game.
I don't know if England are the same, Gab, but Scottish boys always used to have to turn up, you know?
Yeah.
And you would get the doc or the physio just have a look at you as well. Into the bargain, you know, not that they didn't believe you or anything like that, but you turn up when the lads are meeting and perhaps your doc or the physio would have a wee look at you. So it's interesting. Anyway, we're going to move on, but I'm looking forward to hear what
All right,
Adrian, that's to see it. Right, Tiger Woods is facing a massive cloud of uncertainty after being arrested following a rollover crash in Florida on Friday afternoon. Really, it's a great shame this. With the Masters just 2 weeks away, Tiger's hopes of competing at Augusta now look to be in serious jeopardy after his fourth major vehicle incident since 2009. Now, for more on this, we're joined by golf broadcaster and the host of Fairways, his live show, Matty Adams. Matty, thanks for joining us this morning.
Matty.
Good morning, how are you?
Morning, gents. How are you?
We're well, mate. Thanks very much for joining us, Matty. I mean, this clearly is a very serious matter. I know because I was following Tiger, and I know he started playing again. It was one of these. I don't know if it was one of these indoor things, but he played in it. He said he didn't do particularly well, but he was hoping to play in the Masters. But this is a very, very serious issue, and it's not the first time this has happened, Matty.
No, indeed. Clearly, Tiger has some issues. I mean, we already knew the fact. It's almost as if it's taboo and shouldn't be spoken about in golf. But we already know that he's an addict, and he has that tendency within him. The four previous accidents should have been indication enough, particularly the one in California in 2021 that nearly cost him his right leg, maybe his life. When he accelerated through the black box in his SUV proved that he was accelerating the entire time that he crossed from his side of the road to two oncoming lanes, hit signs, hit trees, rolled over multiple times. It was an incredibly serious accident, and somehow they never conducted a blood test, even though he underwent multiple operations. So there was never any serious accountability taken as to what was going on with him. And I don't mean it only from the perspective of justice being served because of how serious that could have been. He went across two oncoming lanes that, thank God, there were no cars. But even from the standpoint of the legal system saying to Tiger, you have to deal with your issues. It's unclear if that's going to happen this time as well because of the odd way that the law works in Florida in this regard, in that he took the breathalyzer test, which would test for alcohol in the system, and it came up with, as the man put it, 000s. That was Sheriff John Budenseek of the Martin County Sheriff's Office. However, Tiger refused to take the urine test, which would have delivered them the information that they needed to know in terms of what they thought was impairing him, because they had experts on the scene that they call them DRE agents. They are drug recognition experts, is what the acronym means. And so he never took that test. He had the right to refuse it. And so legal experts that we're hearing from now are saying it's highly unlikely that he will face serious consequences from any of this because they basically have no evidence. So it continues to be troubling because there's a party, Ally and Gabby, that believe that they're protecting a legend in all this. I think it's gotten to a point where they're not protecting a legend. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's incredibly risky to Tiger, and it's incredibly risky to everybody else that might get injured in his path. Clearly, things he needs to work on.
Matty, that's the point that you've made there. That's the one that I've written down in front of me. Yes, absolutely, he's a legend. We love him, want to see him and all that stuff. But surely there has to be a point, and that point I think wasn't reached at the weekend. I think it's been reached well before that, where people will have to protect Tiger from himself, and certainly just as importantly, maybe more importantly, we have to protect other people from Tiger.
Right. That's precisely the direction that I was going with all of this, is that I'll admit it. I'm a fan of Tiger Woods. I get excited at the prospect that he was going to come back and potentially play at the Masters. It was clear, even though Tiger tends to dance behind platitudes, it was absolutely 100% clear that he was working towards that. The speculation, I was presenting on Golf Channel at NBC Sports through this entirety. And the way that our reporters were getting back to us was that they think he was going to and fro from the golf course. So he was actually practicing in his preparation for Augusta National. But only days before, at the event that you alluded to, it's called TGL. It's the Indoor Golf League. And he played it that one time in the final game. And he didn't play particularly well, as you also noted. There was a lot of rust there. So making no judgment in particular on that. But he was asked if it wasn't his intention to play at the Masters, and he said, "I'm trying." They said, do you think you're going to be able to pull it off? And he said, "I don't know." So, I mean, from that standpoint, I think he was being honest. But on the other side of it, if you, to your point, Ally, where you say this is something that looks like it's gone back quite a ways, Tiger hasn't looked physically well in quite some time. Face has looked puffy. He's always looked extremely tired. We know that he's, for the entirety that we've known Tiger, they said that he has trouble sleeping, etc. So for all these things compounded by a body that's been broken into many pieces and patched back together again, and on top of the fact of what we, the unspoken, already know about Tiger Woods, that he is an addict. We have to come clean about that and face this fact. For all those reasons, everything about this points in a very dark direction. And I would mention, gents, too, we haven't heard from Tiger yet, which honestly is a little odd to have had this incident on Friday afternoon and to have heard nothing out of his camp. He has the exact same representation, the same agent as Gary Woodland, Mark Steinberg, and Mark was on site for the inspirational victory this past weekend by Gary Woodland, coming back from brain surgery less than 3 years ago. And yet we still haven't heard anything from the Tiger side. So I find that to be interesting as well. I'm hopeful that there's a positive side to that, and that means that Tiger is already off doing what he needs to do.
Great, Matty. Listen, I'm glad you got that little bit in about Gary Woodland as well, because for me, that was the best story that came out, one of the greatest news stories that came out the weekend. It was brilliant. Fantastic to see. Matty, promise me you'll come on and talk to us when the Masters comes on. It'd be great to have you back on.
I'll be happy to join you, gents. Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you. Thanks very much for your time this morning. Appreciate that, Matty. We're going to head back to the phone lines and bring Adrian Durham into the debate over whether Arsenal's international pull-out call-offs should, as Gabby argues, be suspended. Dear me, Gabby, that's strong.
Every Thursday we'll be joining the studio by rapper and Spurs fan AJ Tracy. How are you?
How you doing, fella? Not too bad.
Good. Now, we've spoken to you on the phone before. I've never met you, right?
You spoke to me on the phone before, yeah.
Okay, do I call you AJ, Trace?
You call me whatever you want to call me.
Yeah, but what do your pals call you?
AJ, Age.
Age,
yeah.
Okay,
Age.
nice to meet you, Age.
If we've had a beer, it's Age.
Age, okay.
Yeah,
we should do that, Mark, on Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday's a great night to go out. Benny.
It's just a stage name that I thought makes sense. It sounds like a normal name, though. It sounds like a government name, which is why I picked that rather than one of these crazy, aggressive rapper names. I thought something that will sell, something that a mother's not going to look at. Their kid wants the AJ Tracy record. They're going to be like, that name's crazy. I'm not going to buy the record. Just a nice, normal.
It's a friendly name.
It's a friendly name.
Yeah.
It's marketable.
Obviously it is because it works.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah. You said it, not me. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much for coming in.
No, thanks for having me.
What are you up to at the moment? We're going to talk loads. I know you're big Spurs.
By the way, if I wasn't here with you, I'd be watching this. By the way,
how nice is that?
Of course I would. I watch.
Is it your favourite show?
Yeah, it is definitely.
Oh, that's nice of you. Well, you're our favourite artist.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. You had to say that.
You know.
Should we ruin the conversation by talking?
Go ahead. Let's do it.
Life after football. For a lot of players, it means going into punditry. Some turn to coaching or working in the game in other ways. But what about the rest? Some former footballers turn their sights away from the game, and there are a few big surprises. First up, from rainbow flicks to pancake flips. Ex-Chelsea and Southampton defender Ken Monku switched up his footballing career to buy a Dutch pancake house. He bought out the shop, which had been his favourite pancake spot as a child, and before long he was mixing the batter and getting behind the stove. Next, Everton legend Thomas Gravesen swapped out the high stakes of the Premier League for those of the poker room. He made over 150 appearances for the Toffees and won the Scottish Premier League with Celtic. Turned out the Danish international was pretty darn good at poker. He racked up a reported £100 million from his Las Vegas adventures. Remember former Chelsea goalkeeper Petr Cech? Turns out football nets weren't the only goals he was pretty handy in front of. After retirement, he became a goaltender in ice hockey. Same skills, very different surface. And he even won a Division 2 title with Guildford Phoenix. For ex-Liverpool centre-back Daniel Agger, it wasn't just fancy footwork that was in his blood. He was also pretty good with his hands. The Denmark international turned to tattoo artistry after he hung up his boots. He'd qualified as a skin artist while at Anfield, and he then became the co-owner of his own tattoo company as well. It's not all glamour for ex-pros, though. 1966 World Cup winner Ray Wilson set up a very different kind of business. He became an undertaker after he retired. Finally, not many people can say they've won both a World Cup and starred in an Oscar-winning film. In fact, there's only one person in the entire world who can say that. Frank Leboeuf, the former Chelsea defender, was part of the 1998 France squad who won the World Cup. He ended up marking Brazil's Ronaldo in the final and helped his side to a 3-0 win. But Leboeuf had already begun acting on the side while he was playing football, and his biggest role came some years after his retirement when he landed the part of a doctor in the Stephen Hawking biopic The Theory of Everything.
I embrace the career of acting, so I want to learn more. So seeing lots of movies is a part of my job.
To be honest, with all the dramatic diving in the game these days, there's probably tons of ex-pros who've got the acting skills to make it in Hollywood.
Okay, we're in the home straight, final hour, Gab, Monday the 30th March, 7 minutes past 9. What a show we've had this morning, an hour to go, thoroughly enjoying it in the morning. Excuse me. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Browse the UK's best used car deals and score your dream car today. Check out the website for more details. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. What's the latest with Tottenham? Well, let me tell you. talkSPORT understands De Zerbi is considering the proposal of having initially been reluctant to take over before the summer. Spurs are offering a hefty survival bonus that might just have changed his opinion, and a long-term deal. For more, let's bring in talkSPORT voice of live football. It's none other than one and only Adrian Durham. Adrian, a very good
morning,
Monday
Adrian.
morning to you. How are you?
Ali, Gabby, I'm fine. I just want to confirm to everybody north of the border, it was not me at Hampden Park booing the Scots at the weekend. It wasn't me. I wasn't there.
Ed, if there was ever any confirmation required that we are a hard lot to please, then that was it.
Unbelievable. I love it. I love it. It's just, and then Steve Clark says, oh, it's the modern way. Fans have been booing for years, mate. It's been going on forever. What are you talking about?
Hey, I used to be responsible for those boos at Hampden, mate.
Golden times. This is a golden time for Scottish football. Gone to the World Cup and you're booing.
Incredible.
Fantastic.
Incredible.
First World Cup in 30 years, right? We don't care. Have some of this. Boo. Oh, dear me, mate. Dear me. The one thing we'll say, though, for sure, Ed, I mean, both those friendlies,
wow.
I mean, they were great. Well, I mean, the Uruguay game and the Japan game.
Lord.
You actually do feel for people that are paying good money to go and watch it.
Well, it was, my philosophy on football is this, and it's kind of since COVID, really, I've had a much more positive outlook on football, and that is I embrace every game. I can see good in players, I can see good in games. I really want to embrace the joy of football because it is a joyous sport and we do love it. But that Uruguay game, whoa, right? I mean, that tested me even to the floor. I mean, that was so bad. Listen, in the end, there were a couple of goals and some booing. I mean, England fans booing the goal scorer. I've never experienced that before in my life. So it's
Adrian,
a very strange time.
Adrian, I was watching the game with the missus and two of my oldest kids, and she was like, "Oh, this is a boring game, isn't it? Why is it so quiet at Wembley?" And I'm like, "Wow, you don't know the half."
Oh dear me!
It was a weird one, and I felt. Actually, on a serious note, I felt it was a bit of a throwaway from Thomas Tuchel. I think he made a couple of big mistakes. One was bringing back Ben White because he just didn't read the Wembley crowd at all, Thomas Tuchel. He's within his rights. Ben White can come and go as he pleases, but there's going to be repercussions. There's going to be reactions, and I think there was on Friday night. He probably should have left it till after the World Cup, maybe. And I don't care if he tapped in from 0.5 millimetre. It really doesn't bother me at all, but I think when you've got players who, like Ben White, didn't want to play for England, now do want to play for England, he's probably the only Arsenal player that hasn't pulled out of the squad.
That's what I mean. Everyone seems to be leaving.
Pull out the squad, the world's gone upside down, so we've got him in the squad. He wants to go to the World Cup. Rice and Saka are like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. Mikel Arteta's panicking because he's lost a cup final. Everybody get back here.
Yes.
We need to work hard.
Yes.
We can't afford to lose any more trophies.
That's where he let himself down. That's where Ben White let himself down. He should have pulled out the squad. That would have been perfect.
I've heard win the dog's not allowed to go any walks either. Honestly, everyone back. Stay in the training ground. No one can stay at home. Got to eat in the training ground. Honestly,
Mikel Arteta, he must be so unbearable to live with for his family right now. The panic, the sweat. I mean, since they lost that cup final, he must be in a right state. And he's had to get on to Declan Rice and Bukayo Saka and say, "Get back here now!
I'm sitting here with everything crossed, praying that Ben White pulls out the next squad that gets called up for."
I'm sitting here thinking, Rice and Saka, what are you doing? And then I'm thinking, oh, Ben White might go as well. Yeah, I'm delighted. Yeah, please. It's all weird.
Right, I've got somebody. I'm going to bring somebody in who might not necessarily agree with what's been said here. John's an Arsenal fan. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Jonathan.
What have you got to say, mate?
Hello, good morning. How are we?
Very well, John. How about yourself?
I'm cracking, loving life. Just want to add my 2 cents to the conversation.
Please do.
It's good timing. Thanks. It's good timing, Adrian. You're on the call because I called up after the Uruguay game to get on after your summing up notes.
Okay.
Yes, and what have you got to say? What did you think of his summing up?
Yeah, well, he said words to the effect of, "It's a disgrace Thomas Tuchel didn't play his first 11," or words to the effect of that. Now, I'm going to guarantee you the house I live in, Adrian Durham, along with yourself, Gabby, are going to be the first people who are moaning when England don't win the World Cup, saying, "Well, why do we play all these players and these meaningless friendlies and they need a break? They play too many games." I guarantee you that's going to be said. Now, getting back to the point we're talking about, clearly there's something fishy going on. 11 Arsenal players aren't injured. I'm not arguing the fact they are, okay? But, again, the point remains that they play too many games. And what is the point of Declan Rice and Bukayo Saka playing against Japan on a Tuesday night in a friendly? And people seem to be forgetting we have 2 more games before World Cup, We've got New Zealand and the other opponent escapes me. So we do have 2 more warm-up games.
It shouldn't be your choice. If you want to play for your country, you can't pick and choose. It's the best thing you can do as a football player, playing for your country. Don't pick and choose when you want to play.
Yeah, is it the best thing to play for your country against Japan in a friendly?
Yes.
John, let me give you my point of view on this, because you've said there's no point in playing. I think that's the height of English arrogance.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure Ali might back me up here. And the English
you're
are
100% backed up.
The English are viewed as arrogant, and you're the reason why, John, because you're saying they don't need to play in a friendly. England's best 11 need to get together as much as possible, play together as much as possible. Otherwise, they're not going to get better, and therefore they're going to have very little chance of winning a World Cup. We should have had the best team out there Friday night. We should have the best team out there Tuesday night.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong. I understand what Mikel Arteta's doing, and he's not breaking any rules. I think it might backfire because he is clearly panicking. He's having a right old panic up because you lost the League Cup final and you were terrible, by the way, and you haven't played well for a few weeks. You should creep over the line for the title, but he's having a proper panic up, and it is showing. If I was Declan Rice. Declan Rice in particular, just very quickly.
If you call me arrogant, you've got to give me a chance to respond.
Go on then, mate.
Nothing I said there was arrogant at all. You play with tapes back. And it's
you said they don't need to play. They don't need to play on Tuesday. They do.
No, that is not what I said. That is not what I said. I did not say they don't need to play because we're too good to beat Uruguay. That is not what I said.
You said there's no reason why they need to play, and I gave you a very good reason.
When you called me arrogant, which I appreciate.
But it's an arrogant view to say they don't need to play.
You're not listening to me. My words were they shouldn't play because we're too good to beat Uruguay. What I said was they played too many games, and people will be the first to moan at the World Cup if we don't win, and then lay.
Do you know what I would, and Adrian will agree, John?
That isn't an arrogant statement.
Do you know what I would hate to happen, John? These players haven't played together enough before the World Cup, and then we get there and we're like, oh, Lewis Hall's left back, and who's he playing with? Is it right? Play your best team in these two games. Keep playing your best team at any chance you get to. And then you've got a better chance in the World Cup. Not old Declan Rice and Saka play too many games. Come back and have a pool day. Come on.
We do that in the qualifiers at home to Latvia. And then people say, what we learning about playing Harry Kane.
The World Cup's around the corner.
That is exactly... No, you're not listening to my point. Every time we play a qualifying game, which we should win, i.e. Latvia at home and away, we play Harry Kane, we play Saka, we play X, Y, and Z. And then I guarantee you, every time after a game, there's always some journalist saying, what have we learned by playing Harry Kane?
Not on talkSPORT, mate.
Yeah, you're lumping together the media like it's one person.
Yeah. Listen, I'm coming in here.
Need to play their best players together.
As chairman of this committee, I'm coming in saying, John, I didn't think you were arrogant at all, but I'll tell you what is arrogant. Agbonlahor last week telling me that you're playing France in the semi-finals. That's what's arrogant, Adrian. That's not up for debate. Him telling me.
I'm going to be the honest view here. I'm sceptical about whether we can win the World Cup. There's no doubt about it. I'm not going into this thinking, England are going to win it. They've gone deep in recent tournaments, so that's the reason why you might think so. There's some good players. Not all of them are playing well.
Yeah.
So there's no arrogance from me, but I do think it's arrogant for people to say, it's a good time to try out an experiment.
I know.
Listen, we're now 3 games away from the World Cup.
Exactly.
Brilliant,
England
mate.
cannot afford to experiment.
According to Gabby, you're 7 away for the final. Right, I've got to go to a break, Aid. It's so good to see you, mate. You have a great week. Thanks for joining us. Dave Allen's going to be joining us next.
Stefan, the cost of missing out on the Champions League. If I throw 4 at you here, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United or Newcastle, missing out in Champions League, who would feel it most?
Yeah, I think Newcastle would definitely feel it the most, just because the base they're coming off
is that much smaller. So therefore, the proportion that's associated with Champions League football is that much bigger. And they probably did something like £55 million of UEFA money. And then on top of that, obviously had the 5 home games on top, which are or 6, probably 6 actually. When you, I think they had a playoff. So that's 6 home games on top. I mean, that's obviously very significant. So you're talking about 75 million quid out of revenue of, let's say, 300 this season. You know, it's quite a big drop next season if it's not there. Now, obviously, they may get Europa or the conference. The conference doesn't really move the dial at all. And Europa, you have to win it really to make a meaningful difference. And that then brings you a Champions League place. So I think Newcastle will feel it the most. But it will definitely be painful for the others. It will be painful for Manchester United. It doesn't look like they're going to miss out. But if they did, of course, that would be the 2nd consecutive season.
Yeah, Chelsea?
Chelsea, yeah, very much so, given that if you were to compare the financials for this year versus the season next year.
Well, I think it's safe to say we've rattled a few cages this morning, Gav. No doubt about that.
Adrian agrees with me, Ali, because he's a passionate England fan. Simple, patriotic.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Monday the 30th of March, mate. It's just gone 9:20. Excuse me. This, as you know, is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ali and Gabby with you this morning, and we're going to keep this going. We are going to continue to talk Arsenal. Over the weekend, Gunners legend Perry Groves discussed with presenter and Newcastle fan Ollie Klink whether it's more important to support your club or your country.
The joy that you got out of your club winning their first domestic trophy for 70 years, right? That will stay with you for the rest of your life. If you'd got beaten again like you did in the previous League Cup final and you get beaten again, that gets you in the pit of your stomach. It gets in your blood and you never forget it.
See, because of that, I understand why you're saying it with the Premier League, with Arsenal. What about just the FA Cup this season?
Cup.
Just the FA Cup?
No, not just winning. I want to win the Premier League, but if I had a choice between Arsenal and the FA Cup...
All right, no, hold on. What about if it was just the FA Cup for Arsenal? So you don't win the Premier League. Would you rather see that or England win the World Cup?
Arsenal win the FA Cup.
Really?
All day long.
Wow.
That's surprised a few, hasn't it?
Yeah. That surprised you, Ali?
It always comes down to this question. You know, I just think we're in a very fortunate position. We can support both.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
What do you have to choose?
I'm a Rangers man. I'm a Scotland man. I like to see us do well at both. You know what I mean? We've always got to make it extra competitive. Do you know what I mean?
But Ali, do you understand where Adrian's coming from as well? And I agree with him. Listen, I get it. You want to see other players. Ghana done well. I get it. You want to see other players. They've been up to the standard.
Yes.
But when you haven't won a World Cup since 1966, shouldn't you be playing your best team as much as possible before the World Cup? Partnerships, Ali. You know what partnerships are like?
Of course.
Lewis Hall's going to be your left back. What do you see how many games you can play with Marcus Rashford, who might be your left winger? We know he's good with Gordon. They play together at Newcastle. You know, the different partnerships. Livramento and Saka.
But it's a balance, Gab.
Exactly.
It's a balance. I think you make a great point, right? To counter it, though, I would say these games must be an opportunity still for Thomas Tuchel to... I'm loath to use the word experiment, right? Because that's the wrong word. Because I don't think he should be experimenting at this period and this time. However, it is an opportunity to see Garner in there, you know, rather than Elliot Anderson, you know, because he knows what Rice can do. An opportunity to see whether it's Lewis Hall or Livramento, whoever it may be.
You've got 2 games to do that. Why not 1 game experiment? The second game, experiment a little bit, but try and play your strongest side and get used to playing with each other before you go to a World Cup.
It's balance. It's balance. It's getting the balance right. We'll get another call. Reese is giving us a call. Reese is an Arsenal fan. It's all Arsenal this morning. Reese, what do you think? Good morning to you.
Good morning, Reese.
Good morning, boys. How we doing?
We're in great form, Reese. I hope you've been listening. What do you think? What have you heard so far, and what do you think?
I have been listening, and what I've learned so far is that Gabby doesn't seem to be doing his research. He keeps mentioning Hincapié. Now, if he'd done his research, he would have known that Hincapié played on the Friday and actually come off in the 72nd minute with a muscular injury.
So, I didn't know that, mate, yeah.
Okay, so when you kept saying he's pulled himself out, it's because he's got injured.
I didn't say he pulled himself out.
You did. You said Arteta's pulled him back. You did say.
I said Hincapié, Rice, Saka, Gabriel Saliba, Trossard and Zubimendi finished the game against Manchester City. That's what I said.
No, but before that, you said Hincapié pulled himself out. But even if you said he finished the game, what relevance does that have to him then getting injured 2-3 days ago?
Did he though?
So his muscular injury, he went down clutching his
Okay,
hamstring.
so what about Rice, Saka, Gabriel Saliba, Trossard, Zubimendi? Did they come off injured for their country?
No, but at the same time, going back to a previous caller, okay, we are going into a World Cup in the summer. Tuchel knows Rice and Saka are playing. All right, they'll be starting for him.
Really?
Now,
has Saka been in great form this season?
No, he hasn't. He hasn't.
How do you know he starts them?
Because every time he's been selected in the squad in the qualifiers, he was starting on that right wing. The only other person that was starting more frequently than him was Madueke. Now Madueke played against Uruguay and got injured.
Yeah, no problem.
If you watch that game against Uruguay, you had the challenge on Phil Foden. You had challenges flying in, players getting injured. And then if you take into context what happened with the Brazil-France game, Rafinha went, it's a pointless friendly in the USA. All right.
What do you think training's like, mate? From experience, I know what training's like. Training can be as intense as a game.
Okay.
You can get injured in training.
Yeah, but then under that, that's training because you're training for something. Now, if you're having these 2 weeks off, players probably having a bit of a rest. There's big games coming up to the season before the World Cup. We understand that that's big, but then if anything, you're looking at it going, well, they've played a load of minutes. So if you look at the Arsenal, Barcelona, they've played 40 plus 50 odd games already this season. So playing an extra 2 games of pointless friendlies where Tuchel can be looking at other players that can make their way into the squad that deserve it.
So both games. I'm not saying play both games. I'm saying that out of the 2 games, you not think that these players could have played 1 game?
They probably could have, but do they need to? That's the context you've got to take.
Are we that good though? Forget about the other players, the English players. Are we that good to just be saying, Saka's going to start, Rice is going to start, no problem. Let's get to the World Cup and go and win it.
No, so this is what you're understanding. They're good players, but Tuchel needs to see the other players. He needs to see who else can add something different to his squad.
Of course, I agree.
Now, Tuchel he's picked the same squad for the entire qualifiers. Yeah, pretty much the exact same squad, same players have been starting. He's maybe swapped Anderson, Water and stuff like that. Now, the English pool have got an abundance of talent. Yeah, so now it is the time. That's why I'd like to James Garner getting in, and he should be playing 2 games. Now, Tuchel's got 2 games then to look over him.
Reece, I get your point, but I'm going to stick to my rule that I will change. You miss the next league game if you pull out of international break. That's what I would do, mate, because it's so important to play for your country. It's an honour, the biggest honour you can get in football, representing your country. Mr. McCoist, I think he's munching away there. He will agree on his breakfast. Coisty, you want to come in?
You've made my Monday morning the easiest Monday morning I've had in about 14 years. This is brilliant. I'm sitting here drinking my cup of tea, listening to Reece.
Sounded great, by the way.
Hey, you're right about one thing. Playing for your country is the biggest honour you can get. Now we're going to ask Premier Rugby legend Andy Good. Andy's coming on whether Jeff Parling was right or wrong to push my TNT Sports colleague Craig Dowell in a clip that went viral on Saturday. I've got to say, Jeff Parling's picking his victims, man. Wee doily, out of order.
you played in Korea and Japan, didn't you? World Cup in 2002. Did you find it hard, the weather conditions to play in?
They are tough, and in South Africa as well. We played a game, and then the altitude, the ball moves different and everything. And if you're not used to it, as we know, we all love to go on holiday in the summer, but playing football, running around in that heat and that weather, it takes its toll at the time, and we're just not a nation that's used to that. So that's one of the major things I look at when it comes to that tournament being over there.
What about strikers? We know Harry Kane's going to go, but if you looked at the Euros, he was injured, wasn't he? And Gareth Southgate was still playing it. Maybe they didn't trust other strikers in the squads. What do you think of tonight? Do you think Solanke and Calvert-Lewin have to put in a performance?
I think it's their chance of breaking in, isn't it? It's their chance of solidifying themselves in that talk of being the one to take over, because we really don't know who's going to take over from Harry Kane or what it's going to look like after he leaves. I was always an advocate for Ollie Watkins, because he just gives you something different.
Yes.
At times, Kane comes to feet a lot. He's fantastic at turning, sliding people in, and then getting shots off, etc. But what about sometimes you get in behind? And that's what Ollie Watkins gives you. But one thing you got to remember, we've got two wingers.
Who would have thought a sporting event's halftime show could have a bigger impact than the game itself? That seems to be the case with the Super Bowl halftime show. In 2024, Usher brought in an audience of 180 million worldwide, the biggest in the event's history. But how did singing and dancing get to be the centerpiece of America's biggest sporting event? The first Super Bowl was held in 1967. Initially, the halftime show was a display purely for the fans in the stadium, with marching bands, dancers, and American patriotism for all to see. And that's what it was for the first few years. Disney had a go with a few questionable displays in the 1980s, but it wasn't until '93 that we got the first glimpse into the future of halftime shows. Michael Jackson's stellar performance gave NFL execs something to think about. A raft of massive names followed, including Diana Ross, U2, Janet Jackson, who gave us the most famous or infamous wardrobe malfunction of all time. So how many people are involved? To give you an idea of the scale, Rihanna's 2023 performance included 800 people, and experts reckon it cost $13 million. What's even more impressive than some of the names on the bill every year is the fact they do it for free. The artists know the exposure they'll get from doing the show will rocket them up the charts across the world. The Super Bowl halftime show will be a fixture in pop culture for years to come. So the question is, who next?
Okay, in the home straight again. We've got 25 minutes to go. Gabby, thoroughly enjoying it again this morning.
Yes.
talkSPORT breakfast. Arnold Clark, there's over 20,000 used cars online to choose from. So they will, without doubt, have the car for you. Ally and Gabby, as you can hear, are with you this morning. Now, rugby took centre stage over the weekend as 3 of the Premier games were played at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Principality Stadium and Villa Park in the showcase.
Top stadium. Top.
First bit of action they've seen at Villa Park now, very well, Gabby, I think. A wee bit below the belt, that. However,
goals.
There was a strange incident at Villa Park before the game between Leicester and Gloucester. TNT reporter, my wee pal, Liam McDermott, attempted a conversion while Leicester warmed up, which prompted an angry reaction from head coach Jeff Parling.
So we said to Liam, a new member of the team, you need an initiation. Usually it's a song on the bus or you're going to dance something disgusting.
I'm ready to sing, to be fair.
You're going to kick this ball?
Yeah, it's going to be a debut-defining moment, I think. We'll give it a
Pro
spin.
footballer, what's he got? Let's have a look. Brave man. Get there. It's good effort. It's good effort.
These chaps are giving me this.
Would you sign him, Jeff? Would you sign him? Oh, sorry, mate. Okay. Jeff, not happy about that. Okay, apologies for language.
Brilliant. A little push there, Ali.
Then get more on this. We'll look ahead to a huge weekend of Champions Cup rugby. 5-10 Premiership rugby winner and Premier Sports pundit Andy Good joins us. Andy,
Good morning,
Andy.
Andy.
I mean, Andy, have I got it all wrong? Am I wrong laughing at that? I mean, is it more serious than I'm making it?
Morning, chaps. Yeah, well, it's not a good look, let's be honest. And Jeff Parlin, who I know reasonably well, has got his head in the game for, the lads are warming up. And I'm working on TV now a lot with Premier Sports. We want to entertain people. You want to have fun. You want to do things differently. Gone are the days where you sit in studio with a tie on and do it all seriously. But you've got to laugh about it, because if you don't laugh, you cry, right, with some things. And Jeff's come out and apologised. TNT have come out and apologised. But it's not a good look, and you should never lay hands on the gorgeous Craig Doyle.
I mean, Andy, that's the first thing I'm looking at. I mean, Jeff's picking his victims, there, wee Doyley and Liam, man. I mean, there's not a fight in either of them.
No, there's not. No, and Craig's plus 50, and Jeff's still in good nick, and I think it was the surprise. I spoke to Craig on Saturday afternoon after it, and he was like, "It's just a surprise." He didn't even know he pushed him.
Yeah,
he's like, because you know what it's like when you're doing live TV, you don't really know what's gone on or why it's gone on. You just react, don't you? And
I think as
the good
well,
thing is he didn't fall over.
Andy, I think as well, TNT pay $40 million a year, don't they, for the Premier League rugby rights? That includes on-field access before the game as well.
Yeah, and there's a bit from TNT, so the producer. It's not Craig's fault, first and foremost. The producer's in charge, as you know, Ally and Gabby doing TV work. You kind of get told where to go, what to do, and they hadn't properly cleared it, apparently. But, it's fairly harmless because no one got hurt. Yeah. The ball didn't hit anyone, but Jeff was properly angry and in the mood. So I think when the coaches are ready to fight, your team fights for you, and that's why Leicester won.
I thought it was a great strike, Ali.
I thought it was unlucky.
To even reach.
It's been grossly... we've glossed over it because it was a reasonable strike, I've got to say.
Yeah.
Andy, I'm going to say to you, mate, I just think the rugby at this moment in time has been nothing short of sensational. I love the Six Nations. I think it's the best Six Nations I think I can honestly, I can maybe even remember. My own team, I've got to say, my own team, Glasgow, some brilliant results. Beat Bennett at the weekend, a brilliant result last week against Leinster. I mean, I'm just loving everything that's rugby at the moment. I mean, can you remember it being as good and enjoying it as much yourself?
No, it was the amazing Six Nations, apart from the fact that Scotland beat England again, Ali, which obviously made you happy. But yeah, like for jeopardy, the Six Nations to come down to the last kick, where Thomas Ramos has kicked the penalty to beat England and win the Six Nations. It was a phenomenal tournament, and finally Scotland sort of lived up to their expectations. Yeah. And they always beat England at the minute for some reason, but then they fall down a well and don't back it up against bigger teams like France, and ultimately they can't beat Ireland either. But the tournament was amazing. Club rugby's flying. Glasgow, the top team in the URC, and also number one seeds in the Champions Cup as well. So something's going very right at Glasgow at the minute, and they've got depth. Young guys coming through. We saw Fergus Watson make his debut at the weekend. Yep. I gave him man of the match, which I'm just trying to buy friends in Glasgow, so that kind of works. And yeah, it's flying. It really is. But like Gabby said, there's 40 million quid from TNT going to the clubs each year, and they need to work together because we need to entertain. Sport is entertainment, isn't it? Like, your shows 100%. Go great. No one wants to sit there and see a stuffy studio with no one saying anything, just sitting on the fence. It's boring, right?
What's funny with that clip as well, though, either way, if he gets it, it's amazing. If he falls over and misses, it's hilarious, isn't it? Like you said, it's presenting and it's gone different way, hasn't it? And it's entertainment, and I was entertained watching it.
Yeah, no, it was good. I mean, to be fair to the lad, I'm surprised he didn't slip over because he's doing it in some brand spanking new white trainers. And ultimately, when that happens, the chances of you slipping are pretty high.
Yeah. Andy, I was going to say next weekend's massive, absolutely massive. I mean, live in Premier Sports, some big games. The Champions Cup. You've got, I think, on the Friday we've got the Quins versus Sale, and on the Saturday Bath versus Saracens. But what have we got to look forward to?
Yeah, I mean, Bath are a team that are stacked with world-class players at the minute. Finn Russell, your mate, he's on fire. They put 60 points on Sarries a couple of weeks ago in the Prem. But Sarries have got this big game mentality. They've got big history in the tournament. So Saturday afternoon, that'll be a big game. Saturday night, Sale travel down to Harlequin. So we've got a couple of big English knockout games where two teams are going at each other, know each other well. But it's always about these French teams. Glasgow as well play on Friday night against the Bulls, which will be an entertaining game. But for the English fans, two mouth-watering games of club v club action where Bath are one of the favourites to win the competition. So expect big things from Finn and the boys.
I just think, and like I mentioned earlier, Andy, I just think rugby's in a great place just now in terms of the quality we're watching. It's just been fantastic. Can't help but notice, mate, it'd be remiss of me not to mention it. That dartboard behind you, are you no bad with the arrows?
I'm good. I've got the body shape for it now, Ali, as you know. So, although
haven't we all, Andy? Haven't we all, mate?
Well, it's funny because I know Gerwyn Price reasonably well because he used to play rugby and he's trimmed up like you wouldn't believe. So I love my darts. Obviously, Premier League on every Thursday at the minute, which is class. It's just I'm sports mad, so any sport I'll have a go at it.
Brilliant, mate. Well, listen, thanks for taking the time to join us.
Thank you, Andy.
Morning. Really enjoyed your input. Hopefully catch up soon. Take care. Keep enjoying your rugby.
Yes. And Gabby, City coming back, right?
Yes. Love Coventry City. Fingers crossed.
As a Villa boy.
Yes.
He doesn't mean that.
Actually, you know what? I don't mind Coventry at all. Birmingham City,
you don't like
Wolves, West Brom, Walsall maybe, but Coventry, no problems, mate.
There we go. Good man, Gabby. I like you again now.
Top man, Andy.
Thanks, Andy. All the best. Just so I can get that right in my head there. Coventry in the Midlands, they're the only ones you can.
No. The Villa fans don't really care about Coventry. No problem. Wish them all the best, Ali. And hopefully,
wait a minute. You've gone from you don't really care about them now. Is that?
Okay, I don't want them to come up. No, I'm joking. No, we don't mind Coventry. It's Wolves, West Brom, and Birmingham City. Yes.
There's your biggest rival. Okay, fair enough. That was a lovely input there from Andy Good there, 5-time Premiership Rugby champion. Now, Gabby, an interesting story, right? Excuse me, an interesting story over the weekend. Cole Palmer linked with a move to Manchester United. The Sun's Sam Luckhurst is reporting that the England forward is becoming increasingly disillusioned with life at Chelsea. Where are you in that? I think you're a knuckle down, just got on with your job.
Yes, like I said earlier, Ali. Cole Palmer, you're not playing your best football. I watched him against Everton, done nothing, Ali. You know, and he's got to look at his own performances. When the going gets tough, don't just think, oh, I can go move to Manchester United. Are Manchester United going to pay over 100 million for Cole Palmer? Not in this season's form, they won't be.
No, I think you're right. I mean, although, did somebody say, is he a United fan? Did I read that somewhere?
I'm not sure.
I think you might be a United fan, but I'm with you. Listen, knuckle down, get your place in that England squad,
exactly.
Go over the World Cup, have a brilliant World Cup if you can, and then just take it from there.
And there's 7 more Premier League games left, Ali. Go and show your form for Chelsea before the end of the season.
Yeah, you're right, mate. So just for confirmation, the boys are coming in there. Who is it you're playing in the semi-final again, Gabby? Is it France? Is it definitely France?
Yeah, you know what? I've booked tickets for the semis, but I might change to the final because I think it works better for some holidays that I've got.
Right, we're going for a short break. I love it.
Liverpool have announced on Tuesday the cost of attending a match at Anfield is going to increase. It's going to go up by 3% next season, following further increases in line with inflation over the next 2 campaigns. They've decided to do this despite consulting with the Liverpool FC Supporters Board, a decision which was firmly opposed by fan leaders. Liverpool have revealed that adult general admission tickets, which currently cost £39 to £61, are going to rise between about £1.25 and £1.75. Adult season tickets, priced at £713 to £904, will increase by £21 or £27. They say the cost of junior tickets and local general tickets available to those with a Liverpool postcode would remain frozen. Fenway Sports, though, the owners of Liverpool, have been in charge since 2010, haven't increased prices on the Kop since they took over in 2010. So I suppose the big question is why have they decided now to put up the prices, and why do they believe that they need to go up over the next 3 years in line with inflation?
Maybe because they smashed the British transfer record not once but twice last summer. Someone's got to foot the bill for that. Maybe because there's a realistic...
Yep, Monday, the 30th of March, just coming up for him. Well, it's 9:47. That's exactly what it is. It's talkSPORT Breakfast. Ally and Gabby here this morning. Okay, here we go, Gab. Final section. Alan Brazil's boxing son, Moses Ituma, became the first man to stop Jermaine Franklin. Is the 21-year-old officially ready to hunt down the heavyweight greats? I'd love to see it. I know people might think it's a little bit early, but me personally, love to see it.
100%.
And a more exciting news, fellow British heavyweight and big friend of talkSPORT, Dave Allen, is that his next fight announced again. Well, I tell you what, we're just going to ask him. Dave, are you there? Have you woke up?
Good morning, Dave.
Morning, yeah. I fell asleep. I was in the car on the way to the gym, and I fell asleep. So.
Dave, tell me. Just tell me it's because you were listening to Gabby. I mean, he puts everything to sleep, mate.
We'll let you off.
I can't get in the car without falling asleep. Obviously, I'm not driving. Do you know what I mean?
You're working too hard, mate. That's what it is. You need to give your body a rest.
These big fights, mate.
Yeah, big fight in Austin. Just training so hard, and yeah, it's a hard life, and someone's got to live it though.
Absolutely. Well, listen, before we talk about the weekend, which you will do in a minute, tell us about your own next fight. I gave you a big build-up. You tell us about it.
Yeah, I'm fighting Filip Hrgovic, who is rated number 4 by the Rugby magazine, so he's effectively the 5th best heavyweight in the world. We're bringing him to Doncaster Rovers football ground, which is only a stone's throw away from, where I was brought up. So yeah, the biggest fight of my career by far. 1, the opponent. 2, the venue. So really looking forward to it. I mean, it's a big ask, but couldn't ask for any more, really.
But when did you say that was? Sorry, Gab. When did you say that was again? Was it May the 16th?
May 16th, yeah. 6 weeks Saturday is.
He likes a scrap, doesn't he, Dave Hrgovic? I've seen some of his fights over the years, and he's up for a good scrap, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got Olympic pedigree. Has a bronze medal, I believe, from Rio in 2016. He has a win over Gilles Zhang in the pros. He's done it all amateur and pro, so it's a big ask. But when I got offered the fight, I said, first of all, I said, of course I'll box anybody. I've got nothing to lose. Really, that's how I saw it. But then when they mentioned Doncaster Rovers football ground, I'd have boxed anybody there. And I know for a fact how hard a fight it is. It's probably a step from the mountain of fight which I lost. But if I get offered big opportunities, I'm not the kind of person to turn them down. So we're gonna have to just get in the gym and do my best.
I bet it's already sold out, hasn't it? I mean, 15,000. It can fit, can't it? And I'm sure that'll be sold out in no time.
Yeah, I'm hoping we'll sell it out. Yeah, we've had very good reception to the announcement, and a lot of tickets sold from me personally. So it'd be nice for it to be filled. It's probably the biggest sporting event in Doncaster's history, I believe. So I'm hoping it'll be full.
Brilliant day. Wish you all the best for that. Getting back to the weekend, mate. Moses Ituma, did you watch it? What did you think of it? I'm guessing you weren't overly surprised, or were you?
Yeah, I was there working for talkSPORT, actually. I was doing the commentary, so luckily I was only 8-10 feet away from the ring. He's terrifying, actually. He's so, as an active heavyweight, that you think, ooh, if I beat Ergovic, I could box him. It kind of scares you a little bit, puts you off winning sometimes. He's that good. He's so fast. His hand speed is incredible. It's the speed, the power, the variation with the punches. He's the real deal. He's definitely the real deal. Jermaine Franklin's a very good fighter. I'm not sure Franklin was actually in the best shape, and he's not offensively the best fighter in the world, but he can look after himself. And his time got him out there when Joshua and Dillian Whyte couldn't. So, we can see how good he is. He's the real deal.
Is Ituma the sort of fighter, Dave, that the likes of Fury, the likes of AJ, that they're in the mid-30s now, they're trying to avoid, and maybe more like a Fabio Wardley and Dubois would be one of the fights that you'll have next?
Yeah, Joshua and Fury won't go near him. He's too young, too fresh, too fast. Their best days have gone. So, Ituma, realistically, he's looking at Dubois, Wardley winner. I don't think the Wardley winner. I think if Wardley wins, I don't think he'll box him because they're in the same gym. Dubois may. But Caballel, Ituma's gonna have to fight one of them guys. He's not gonna get one of the old guard that's on the way out. He's gonna have to box one of the real, main men, which is Caballel. So it's interesting, and then he's gonna be around for another 15 years, hopefully. So there's gonna be people we're not even heard of yet that are gonna come and have a go at him.
Is that the danger with heavyweights like him, to be so strong and powerful but quick as well?
Yeah, it's the speed. All heavyweights can punch. For me personally, I've never been put over in a fight, never been down and out. That's because I can see him coming. The danger with the time is you don't really see him coming. He's that fast. He throws a lovely right hook off the back of a left hand to the body, and no one sees it coming. That's what Franklin does well. Franklin doesn't get hit properly. That's why he's never been over. All his great chin talk for me is nonsense. There's no great chins. Anyone gets hit properly, you go over. And the time was that fast, he hit Franklin, and Franklin went over and stayed over. So, I think he's the real deal. I mean, he's still got a little bit to go. I think from Franklin to the very top is still quite a big jump. But beating Franklin at 21 years of age, he's already the real deal. It's just whether he can become world champion and stay world champion.
Dave, tell me, mate. You mentioned obviously we've got a big fight to look forward to, Doncaster on May the 16th. Monday morning, just going up to 10 o'clock, you're going to your training. Give me a quick rundown. What's your week's training consist of in the build-up to the fight in May?
I woke up this morning at about 7:05. My 2-year-old son was just literally sat on my head.
Yeah.
That woke me up. So that's why I'm probably so tired now, actually. So I woke up, went and seen my daughter and went downstairs, had some breakfast, straight to Manchester, training today. Straight back home. We promoted a show Friday at Doncaster Dome, actually. The guy next to me was Commonwealth Silver Champion Friday. There he is, Joe Hayden.
Hi, Joe.
So go and train them. I've trained tonight. Tomorrow we've got the press conference in Doncaster. Hergovic is coming to Doncaster, which I'm sure will be a shock to his system when he gets to Donny. And then back to Manchester for the rest of the week training. Pat Brown fights Friday. So literally twice a day training, and then apart from that, being a dad, being a coach and a manager to my boxers, the busier for me life is, the happier I am, or the less unhappy I am, I guess would be a better way of putting it.
Brilliant, Dave. Well, listen,
said,
I don't have any doubt we'll hopefully get an opportunity. We'll make sure you get an opportunity to speak to you before the fight, and we'll hope the training goes well, mate. Good luck to you, and Joe too.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you.
All the best, boys. Now, Gabby, before we go, mate, it's an interesting one. I don't know if the boys have prepped you on this, right?
Probably not.
A few of our texters have heard you talking about Arsenal, and a few of them have wanted me to point out a headline from The Guardian in 2007. Now, excuse me while I clear my throat for this.
Before you say that, though, if
Yes,
I know
mate.
what it's going to be, before I went on my little rant, did I not say that I pulled out of squads and I regretted it?
You did.
Exactly.
Mate, you did. In your defence, you did.
Thank you.
However, I still want to read it.
Aye, go ahead. I'm not listening. You're on mute, mate.
England on the headline: England under 21s turn to Vaughan after Agbonlahor goes AWOL. Gabriel Agbonlahor's international future was last night shrouded in uncertainty after he failed to report for England's under 21 duty and was dropped from the squad for next month's European Championship in the Netherlands. I mean, what's going on, mate?
Do you know what that was, Ali?
Yes, mate.
It was hilarious because I played that whole season, one of my first seasons, and then Martin O'Neill hadn't told Stuart Pearce, hadn't explained that he didn't want me to go.
Yeah.
And then I was on holiday at the time in Dubai, having a right good go, Ali, enjoying life. And then I remember someone told me, "You on breaking news?" And he says, "Gabby's gone AWOL, can't get hold of him." I'm like, has the gaffer not told you that he doesn't want me to go?
I bet you nearly dropped your vodka martini.
I know, and then after 5 minutes, got back on it. But like I said earlier, even the full England squad, I pulled out squads, Ali, because at that time, managers maybe says, "You know what, be careful, we've got some big games, you're fighting for top 4," and I regret it. What I'm saying now is to the players that are doing it, don't, because playing for your country is the biggest honour. What would you do now, Ali, for another cap?
No,
do you know what I mean, mate?
Absolutely, mate. No, do you know something? You make a good point, right?
For once.
And the one thing I would say, and we're having a laugh reading that headline, right? We're having a laugh reading
Out of order.
But in all seriousness, right, you are in a better position than most to tell people that you made a mistake there. And the most important thing is playing for your. We all make mistakes, Gabby. Yeah. And you correctly, in my opinion, the one thing that you said all morning is playing for your country is the highest honour.
Exactly. So that was the Guardian, yeah. Okay, let me write
that was the Guardian. Well, that's Listen, how's your day looking, pal?
I'm going to play a bit of paddle. I played a game yesterday. Didn't finish the game because we ran out of time. We're going to play again, Ali. Love it. Improving, trying to not use power shots as much. Trying to hit the cage.
We need
more,
a game. We need a game. I'm sure O'Hara was bumping his gums about winning some. Did he? You know, I'm
he's
sure
not speaking to me, mate. I don't know if the public can help me here because he's unfollowed me on social media. We had a great relationship and it's broken.
Oh man,
and I just want to. He's got a wedding in 2.5 weeks, and I still want to go, but I don't know if I'm still invited. I need the public, Ali, to get us back together and make
He needs a cuddle.
I know. I want him to follow me again.
I know, it's a shame, mate. I
post good content and he's missing it.
He just needs a cuddle. Well, pal, listen, thoroughly enjoyed this morning. Ali. Thanks for being in this morning. We hope you have enjoyed it out there as much Gabby and I have, presenting from 6 o'clock this morning. Now stay tuned, because I'm back tomorrow with Andy Townsend from 6 a.m. and we'll join the show. But Barnsley, John Barnes ahead of England versus Japan, which, as you know, is live on talkSPORT. Now coming up next, Jim, Simon and Martin. You're through,
Kyle. Let's go.
Right, good. Gabby is the most disingenuous presenter on talkSPORT.